Um, Zaxels. So, I mean, the answer to that is yes, though. Um, I can think of two little indie games that are short, admittedly, very short, but two little indie games I actually really like both of them. That are just that, Igneous and Descent. Not the old Descent that's not an indie game, but platformer Descent that's freeware is a lot of fun and basically pure escape sequence. Hey, stop it! Yes, I imagine I would. Like I've seen a little bit of Legends played, and that definitely stood out. Like I specifically remember Black Betty, and that was amazing. Black Betty level there. But I also don't really want to buy Legends because it's supporting Ubisoft and it's expensive. So. Hmm. Arguable hyphenated, yeah. I mean, like, Ultima games, I think were, or at least some of the original Ultima games were mostly just Garriott that was working on it, not anyone else. Could be misremembering that, but I think that's the case. I do imagine the spaceship Descent game did have a double-digit team on it, double-digit number of people working on it. I don't know, actually, I'm not sure. See, yeah, I'm definitely wary of Metroidvania, but it's not always a bad thing. Well, it's mostly a bad thing, but there can still be a great game even despite that. Like I still like Knit Stories, Cave Story, and Ori and the Blind Forest more in spite of their Metroidvania aspects than not. But greetings, Glowing Eddie. Saxels, I have not played Might and Magic 6, no. The only Might and Magic I've really played to a relevant degree is Might and Magic, or Heroes of Might and Magic 3, since that was considered so good and worth going back to, and I mostly agree with that. I didn't play a huge amount, but what I played was definitely enjoyable and stood up fairly well. And to be clear, Devin, like, free doesn't mean it's worth my time, though. Time is still valuable, despite how much of it I tend to waste. But I'm not saying anything about Shadow Complex. If people have been thinking of it well, and it's probably well worth checking out. But just because the game's free, like I've got plenty of free and non-free games that I could be playing that. Some of them I should get to sometime, but I should probably play the Spirit Engine 2 on stream sometime. That's a free RPG that actually has kind of challenging and interesting puzzly battle mechanics. But yeah, Descent. So yeah, damn it, I hate this. Well, screw it. We'll throw music on for a second. I'm chatting. Chatting's good. Greetings, Frostaline Mark 3. Descent was a cool game. It was rough with the 3D and handling that. I think that was really the first. I paused on first because I almost want to say only game I really relevantly remember using a joystick for to any degree of a game that I played more than almost never. But I specifically remember in Descent we got some like dial-up multiplayer games going, and like just always had a, I don't know, running joke with my brother or whatever that like there's always someone behind you. It's just they're always behind you. That's my memory of Descent. Someone's behind you. Weak computers, Axels. Knit Stories. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna do side conversations and stuff at this point. Well, I might as well actually bring some stuff up on screen here, though. Let's do it. Alright. Give me 1 second. Throw some of that shenanigans up on screen while we're talking about it. Yeah, actually, yeah, just close out of Rayman for now. Getting sick of this level gating. Sick of this level gating shenanigans here. Alright, so, games that'll run on a weaker system that I would recommend. Cave Story. Undertale probably runs on a weak, well, sometimes some aspects of it get some slowdown if you're on a slow enough system, but that's a maybe. VVV should work, especially with the new code update on slower systems pretty well, and that's great. Star Control 2, that might be a good one to investigate. That's a frickin' bajillion-year-old game at this point. Yeah, it's over a 20-year-old game that stands up really well today and has a lot of cool things going on. Definitely recommend that, and that one is free, to be clear. Blackfire, no. Just poking at me because he knows that it's not. I strongly believe that you shouldn't play a game like just in order to play its good sequel. No, just play the good sequel instead. Don't worry about the crappy first game if it's bad. You don't need to play it. Occasionally, it can still be worth experiencing for story background and stuff, but a lot of times it really isn't relevant. It's not like you need to play Final Fantasy II for the NES or some garbage like that in order to enjoy Final Fantasy VI, for example. Other stuff that might run on a crappier PC. I don't know about Jamestown. Jamestown might run on a crappier PC, and that's a great game. Knit Story, as I mentioned, that's free Metroidvania platformer, and a lot of fun. Betrayal at Krondor, that might actually be free also. I don't know how well this game lives up today. I will say a little bit of grain of salt here, but it's got a really cool story written by like a well-established good fantasy author that made a full, real story for the game, not just a half-ass thing. The story for the game was actually good enough that he eventually went back and made a book based on the story he made for the game, so that's kind of a neat thing there. But oh, is it, Ritzel? That is kind of a barrier for me. I really don't want to install another client like that. 3D goggles with the Descent iPad in it? That's crazy. Let's see. You got your traditional roguelikes would run fine on a crappier PC, so stuff like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Sout, really quick game, but it's a fun little romp. One-button platformer executed pretty well. This is that Descent platform I was talking about. That's a really neat game. I enjoyed quite a bit. So that should give you some ideas of other stuff to load up on a crappier computer. You can do Darklands too. That's one of the few games I would describe as like an open world RPG that I actually like. It definitely has problems. Don't get me wrong, but it's a Microprose classic that I would think lives up fairly well today. You can really go a lot of different ways with how your characters develop, and a lot of cool exploration and neat stuff to find in the game. It's got kind of a pausey, real-timey combat, kind of like games that have that. I don't know, modern games. I don't know, like Dragon Age Origins or something, maybe vaguely like that. Baldur's Gate 2 specifically is still considered pretty dang good, but I haven't played it myself. I don't have any real opinions on it, other than I wouldn't expect to love it, but maybe I would. Ritzel dropping the Star Control 2 link, very nice. Yeah, it's called Urquan Masters, yep. Hey, Lance Spider. Squeega, yeah, so I don't know exactly the differences. Okay, Ritzel says, yeah, the PC port uses the source from 3DO. There's like some differences in maybe music and graphics slightly. Like, I think with the current version of the Urquan Masters, you can actually customize your choice between 3DO and PC release versions in so you can kind of customize it however you want it, I think. And you could certainly look up to see which of those is kind of considered better or whatever, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. Coin Crypt would be rated lower. I don't actually know if it's on this list because I don't remember if it was... Oh, here, let's find it. Coin Crypt is not on the list. Yeah, it must not be in the database. I guess I can see if someone has added it. Someone has added Coin Crypt. What do I even want to rate Coin Crypt? That's a good question. What do I want to rate Coin Crypt? Okay, Ritzel, gotcha. So Krondor was released free at one point as a promotion, but isn't still free. But it's cheap on GOG. Hey, Squirrel! But, yeah. I mean, 8.5 is an incredibly high rating for me, Aroma. Remember, I've rated about 800 games, and we only had to scroll down this far to get to an 8.5. So, like, for example, here. Yeah, rated 800 games, and, what, 5%? It's in the top 5%. Top 5% of 800 games, pretty good still. Pretty dang good. Yeah, and like Tricky said, like, my really good games that I really like kind of starts around the 7.5s. That's like, yeah, I recommend this, I enjoyed this experience relevantly. And like, I mean, 7s and stuff are still games I liked and enjoyed quite a bit, and of course it gradually goes down from there, but there's a reasonable jump between a 7 and a 7.5 as it works out. Man, that does not deserve a 6.5, but I still just kind of love it, man. Music is so good. Just I tried to note on a few games that I have rated highly, largely because of like nostalgia or whatever. That's kind of the reason why. But 6.5s are often stuff like I definitely enjoyed parts of the game, but they had some major flaws, or they were just kind of like, yeah, that was fine. Lots of those on either side there. But yeah, I mean, like, I've talked about this a bit before, like, things in FTL, like, there's a lot of false decisions in FTL. I really don't like that in the design of a roguelike. There's equipment that you never actually want to use in the game that I still haven't really fully fixed in the balance mod, for that matter, but I do to some extent. Things along those lines that make the game a worse experience than I'd want it to be. I mean, I can see easily bumping it up to a 9 or something. That's not unreasonable. Could easily bump it up to a 9. This is one of my, like, kind of sleeper hit 9s right here. Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. That's just a really clever and fun way to convert the concept of Magic as a card game into a real-time game where you're actively summoning stuff and dueling in real time, and it just was a blast to play when I was playing it. 8 out of 10, not enough coins. I'd probably go around a 7.5 on Coin Crypt. We had a lot of fun with it, but it's got a lot of problems too. A lot of little frustrations, plenty of little bugs. There, that's a sleeper. That's a flash game that an obscure flash game at that. Obscure flash game nobody knows of or cares about, but I had a lot of fun with that that game. Just getting combos up and stuff. But yeah, like 7.5s. Look at all these great games at 7.5s. I told you, like I'm using the entire scale of ratings. I'm using the entire scale of ratings. So as we saw over here, my average rating's a 5.76. So we're not using modern video game ratings where less than a 7 is utter trash. I mean, look at this. We got freaking Bleed, Fez, we got Awesome Nuts, C.A. Mora, Space Kim, Magicka, Trials. These are all great games. Titanfall, One Way Heroics, Transistor, Valkyria Chronicles, Freedom Planet. I had a ton of fun with all of those games. You played a ton of Action Turnip Summon? Yes! That's amazing. I'm glad someone even knows about it. That's great. I had probably top 25 at least score at some point. Top 20 maybe? I don't remember. We can look at the bottom of the ratings list if you want, Zaxels. Keltarak, welcome. Yeah, so Final Fantasy Tactics. I didn't find the story interesting or memorable when I played it, and I remembered nothing of it now, basically. The gameplay was pretty enjoyable, but didn't ever blow me away. But that's definitely a bit of an ancient rating in a lot of ways. Like, I don't even remember when I played that game, but it was probably 2002, 2001? So it's been, like, 10-15 years since I've played Tactics, so I don't really know how well I think that actually lives up today. I don't have an informed enough opinion on it to really say, but it definitely had good things and had some bad things. It had a really bad difficulty curve, is something that stood out for me a lot in Tactics. Like, the hardest battle in the game by far was 2/3 of the way through, and then, like, right after that you get, like, Orlando, and you don't, like, do anything, and he just automatically kills everything, and the final boss is, like, so utterly trivial, I didn't even realize I was fighting the final boss. And things like that. So it definitely has some design issues on those fronts, but the core gameplay is pretty cool. And Final Fantasy, this is a game that does not live up well today. This is basically a nostalgia bias. I shouldn't even say probably. That should just say period nostalgia bias is present. This game is not good, and I don't recommend playing Final Fantasy 1 as anything other than a like relic to kind of see where the series started. There's good music, and there's just some, for whatever reason, kind of just the silly basic RPG gameplay still appeals to me in that one today, but it's not actually good. But you 100%ed Bad Rats? Oh, you gotta, you cheated it. Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's also stupid, those Axels. I don't know which is actually worse. I don't actually know which is worse. That you, if you actually 100%ed Bad Rats, or if you cheated to make it look like you 100%ed Bad Rats. There's so many things wrong with both of those things. Hey there, Yellow Swag. So yeah, here's the bottom of my ratings here. We ended up moving these games to a 1 rating after we had a conversation on stream. It's like, what games, like, I've used the phrasing like, well, it wasn't a good game, but I don't regret playing it. I've uttered that phrase several times, and then someone was like, well, Twitch, what games do you regret playing? And I'm like, you know, there's not really many games I actually regret playing at all. But we figured out that Home Improvement, Power Tool Pursuit, and Psychic World were games that I actively regretted playing, so they probably deserve the lowest rating because of that. So bad. I hate those games so much. Color a Dinosaur, which is not a game, gets a higher rating because I found some amusement there that they made a god-awful coloring book on the NES, and it was very silly. Likewise, Booth 6 Sense, not a game at all. Not even a game. You're not, like, doing anything. It's a glorified Ouija board. But I gained amusement from it, so I don't regret playing it. And, I hyphenated. Yeah, Castle of the Winds, that would be my first roguelike as well. And here we got some of your traditional terrible games like Superman. You got Deadly Towers, Gilligan's Island, Milan Secret Castle, Jaws. This one's not really a traditional one, but man, I hated this. The level design of this was so bad. This Atlantis No Nazo game was advertised as the game that surpassed Mario because it like had a huge number of levels, just raw levels in it. But the levels were also completely terrible and controlled badly. We played Secret of the Magic Crystal on stream before, Krima. Secret of the Magic Crystal was magical. Open the door, get on the floor, everybody color a dinosaur. You beat Deadly Towers, Ritzel? Wow. Yeah, Deadly... Well, I mean, I got a 2.5, not a 2. There was, like, some stuff that looked like game design there. Wasn't completely absent. Oh, Sunday Funday the Ride, man. That's an impressive piece there. Now, Elite. This game is rated very highly on this website, Video Game Geek. Because Video Game Geek is kind of just a site that's almost entirely people from Board Game Geek that also like video games. And a lot of those people tend to be older and liked video games from when they were young, and that includes things like Elite. And it is a hot mess today. It's an incredibly important and influential game, but it's almost unplayable, and it's, oh man, it's awful. But... I mean, I enjoyed Rampage a bit as a kid too, Calandris, but man, going back, it's mindless. It's utterly mindless. Yeah, there you go. Deadly Towers is like a Zelda game, but without charm, playability, or anything else of merit to speak of. Hey, Meekin. Elite Dangerous, I do believe, is based on Elite, right? As far as I know, it is. I have not watched much Elite Dangerous, but yeah, I'm like 80%, 90% sure it is. Lord of the Realm. Lords of the Realm. Yeah, that's a game that's I like that phrase, hot mess. Hot mess kind of describes that game a lot too, but it was kind of fun. We'll find that in the rankings in a little bit probably as we start looking from the bottom. I barely remember anything about Septerra Core other than just how much I hated it. So, like, if I replayed it, I might even lore it more or something, but there's no... Replaying a game to rate it badly is not a good reason to replay a game. That's why I haven't replayed Ocarina of Time. That sounds like Isaac, yeah, Blackfire. Rift, one of my only forays into modern MMOs, and it was not a good one. Gish, made by... some of the folks that did Super Meat Boy there. I forget if it was both or if it was just Edmund that worked on Gish or whatever, but Gish was terrible. If you do play Gish for some reason, though, definitely don't raise your difficulty level. It just raises the BS factor, not the actual difficulty of the game. Ghosts and Goblins could go to hell. Super Bonk, yeah, that game could go straight to hell. Here's Secret of the Magic Crystal. See, Secret of the Magic Crystal gets all the way up to a 3. I almost want to rate this higher, man. Like, I don't have, like, a burning hatred of Secret of the Magic Crystal like I do, like, Super Bonk, but it is so terrible. Like, it's hard to say. Predator. Oh, God, that was so bad. I hate... like, do I really want Secret of the Magic Crystal rated lower than Final Fantasy VIII? That's a legitimate question. I don't know. I actually raised up my co-op rating. I originally like had that more like a 2 or something, but I was like, no, I hate bad controls as a mechanic, but there's still kind of something fun going on here. So, hey there, Hectic. 2048 is there. It should not be that low. I really didn't enjoy it at all, but it shouldn't be that low. Let's at least bump that up to a 3.5. Let me look at some 4s real quick. Hogs of War, Carnival Games. Maybe even a 4. That doesn't deserve a 3. That's a fair point, Hectic. Yeah, like it's not a bad game really. I just really didn't enjoy it when I played 2048. But I agree, it doesn't deserve to be that low. Oh, was that made by the co-op creators, Axels? I recently saw a video on game design that referenced what I'm pretty sure you're talking about, the climbing game. See, I didn't really play any of the other Bonk games, Ritzel. I just played Super Bonk as part of a blind race, and it was so frustrating with the controls. Like, it felt like there was like a, I don't know, full second delay between when I pressed the button and something happened on screen. It was not pleasant. And then on top of that, you had ice levels. You could have delayed, terrible controls that are also on ice. That's the opposite of fun. The opposite of fun. Yeah, Secret of Mana 3 is another one that I'm not, like, confident in my rating of. Sequin Dinsen, or 2, I guess. Secret of Mana 2 or Sequin Dinsen 3, however that is pronounced. I'm butchering it horribly. But, I did not get into that at all. I tried playing a little bit and it just did not grab me whatsoever. But I make you so mad every time I see Majora's Mask, though. Sorry, Ritzel. Oh yeah, we were talking if we wanted to raise the rating of Secret of the Magic Crystal. It's so bad, but there was... I got, like, enjoyment out of the game. Like, if I got enjoyment out of the game from it being so bad, does it deserve a higher rating because of that? That's actually a really interesting question, I think. What do you guys think of that question? Too many ninjas? Yeah, I definitely felt that way in Majora's Mask 2 when I played it, Hectic. I feel like if I replayed Majora's Mask today, I would raise my rating. If I replayed Ocarina of Time today, I would lower my rating. I don't think either is great, I don't think either is terrible. But as I mentioned a little bit ago, I don't think replaying a game just to be like, hey, I do like it worse than I thought I did. That's not really a great reason to replay a game. But I definitely remember as a kid being really just kind of frustrated with like, alright, well I did half the dungeon and I guess we're resetting it and going back to the beginning because we ran out of time. I mean, maybe I don't know, it was a long time ago, so I can't really remember specifics other than that feeling of frustration from there. Squirrel's got the Magic Crystal highlights ready. Nice, nice. They're also on YouTube. But yeah, that's an interesting thought on Magic Crystals. Like, games like Predator, I just hated and were frustrated with. Secret of the Magic Crystal is awful and possibly even like a worse game somehow, but I definitely got more enjoyment out of it. I think we're bumping up Secret of the Magic Crystal here, man. We're talking about like infamously bad games, but it's going to tie FF8. Suck on that, FF8. You are tied with Secret of the Magic Crystals. Final Fantasy II for the NES is probably a worse game than Final Fantasy VIII, by the way. That game is like just really bad mechanically and like world design. The places you can path on it are terrible and not good, not good. Oh god. Although I do actually remember like vaguely mimicking the idea of like fighting the bombs in time to defuse them or whatever, like hiding stuff in a backyard or something when I was a kid, kind of inspired by TMNT for the NES there. So that was one, I guess, vaguely fond memory I remember that's cause of that game. Yeah, so Krima, someone had mentioned the Slow Down Time song before. I wonder if that was just like a thing that I missed entirely when I played it as a kid. Clarice, Ariane, Clarice! That's right. Zaxels. I had fun with that, man. I had fun with that. Lava. Oh, God. I lowered this rating, honestly, after just watching Elad, like, struggle repeatedly with the in-game utter BS of this game. And, like, that's just bad design, and it just drags and drags and drags. Ultraman for the SNES was this fighting game. This was a game that you could cheese almost every boss in the game in the single player. I don't know if there even was multiplayer. By just jumping and kicking them. Just jump kick, jump kick, jump kick. It was super OP. Alex Kidd Miracle World is remembered fondly by a lot of people. Like, hey, this is one of the good games from the Sega Master System. No, there's no such thing. This is garbage. Sega Master System has Alex Kidd and it has Psychic World, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, they're like these rock paper scissors things that unless you bought like this item that would make you psychic in the rock paper scissors, that you can't really know that's what it does. Just play in the game. You'd have to, I don't know, have a manual or something to look that up, and you just lose rock paper scissors randomly. It's not fun. Yeah, there we go. We got our highlights of Bad Rads there. Oh man, I really dislike McPixel. I almost want to lower that, but I don't know. I'll probably leave it where it is. Yeah, the old mic is rough, Squirrel. Definitely rough. I don't know. I'm surprised I built up a following streaming at like 500 kilobits a second on a garbage mic with no cam and nothing else. But, like, looking back. Yeah, I definitely remember on some of those old highlights when I'm putting them on YouTube, I'm like, do I even want to put this on YouTube? It's like, it's funny, it's a good highlight, but my microphone's awful. Oh, really, Meekin? It's that obscure. Interesting. Yeah, I probably missed it entirely then. Indeed, plays it. Indeed. Are you saying this highlight's not Bad Rats? The one's linked there? They follow a pattern. Well, you just have to learn the pattern, right? Like, if you're just in it for the first time, you're not going to know the pattern. I disliked a lot of the other, like, the rest of the game as well, to be clear. It wasn't just the terrible RPS things, but that just stood out the most, and it made for a really amusing comment, I thought, so that's what I went with there. Super Marissa Land, oh, God. Controls in that were so bad. So bad. Papers, Please is on here. I think I've got that at a 7. It's a weird spot. Like, I could go 7.5. It does what it does well, and I do recommend it. It's just also, like, numbing and tedious and painful to play in a lot of ways. And I'm sorry, I've got Stronghold pretty low, Squiga. Although the sequels do get better. Every sequel to Stronghold does improve it. Interesting, I don't really have, like, nostalgia for, like, Dragon Warrior, especially Dragon Warrior 2, like I do for FF1. I think Dragon Warrior 2 was actually my first RPG when I was a kid. But when I tried replaying that, it was just like, this is a nightmare. Why am I doing this to myself? Where, like, Final Fantasy 1, it's like, yay, I'm still having fun with this. So. Okay, that's fair, Ritzel. That's fair. Although, really, should this be maybe a 4.5? I don't know, the unit controls in that were really frustrating. It's still kind of a fun RTS, though. 4 is probably a little harsh on that. 4 is probably a little harsh. I don't know if I should even rate Myst, to be honest. I just have, like, a vague feeling of, like, definitely disliking this game. That's like all I have for Myst. I don't have any, like, real recollection of playing it or completing it or any specific thing I was stuck on or anything. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna remove that rating. That's, like, I've played some Myst, but I've got no recollection enough to realistically rate it. Monkey Island 2 I do, though. Screw Monkey Island 2. It's like, hey, let's reuse all the same jokes from Monkey Island 1 and add more BS. They fixed one piece of BS, but there's no more, like, irrelevant options in the menu all the bloody time, so that's good. Oh yeah, and the object highlighting. Mechanically, those are good improvements, but everything else is so much worse. But yeah, so let's look at some 4.5s real quick to compare for a Stronghold there. Diablo. Oh yeah, no. Stronghold isn't a 4. If those are 4.5s, it might even be a 5. Let's go ahead and fix that a little bit. There we go. Hey there, Haji. They improved a lot of stuff. Interesting, Squeaga. I definitely remember in even Dragon Warrior 2, but especially Dragon Warrior 1, the like menu and UI navigation to do stuff was tedious and garbage. It's like, alright, I want to talk to this person, open my menu, and then select talk from my 8 options here. Things like that. It was really, really bad. Yeah, choosing the party at FF1 was a cool feature, Calterac. And like if I were to replay FF1, I don't know, on stream for some reason, I would probably do a single-person party, just a one-person party, and the fact you can actually do that and it works is cool, even if it obviously wasn't planned. Yeah, I've played several Commander Keen games, Krima. Man, those kind of control really badly now, though. I remember seeing like one Commander Keen game had like a really low world record speedrun. I'm like, yeah, I like doing like quick speedruns. Let's see this. Tried it for a little bit. I'm like, this controls like ass. I don't want to play this. What am I doing? Oh, you were playing on Grip, hyphenated. It's nice to see Diablo properly rated awfully, Lance Fire. I mean, yeah, like I got some enjoyment out of it. It was reasonably fun at the time, but like I was talking about earlier, I really don't find that core gameplay, that core Skinner boxy sort of gameplay of Diablo, of you just gradually upgrading your stuff and then clicking stuff until it dies, and then upgrading your stuff a little more, not very engaging for me. But I still remember one thing from Diablo, though. I definitely remember one thing. So there's this Chamber of Woodsy, and his wife, you know, her, tells the tree, but you gotta wait. And then I says that if you think I look like him, and if you think I'm gonna pay for this, then yeah! Driver, yes, the tutorial in Driver is Axles. The tutorial in freaking Driver is a nightmare. Why did they make the tutorial like a million times harder than playing the game after the tutorial? Let's see, where was Driver? Yeah, I don't have a comment for it, but the tutorial of that game was ridiculous. I remember like passing it back and forth between a friend for like a couple hours until we got past the tutorial because it's that hard. And then the game is like, whatever, not that exciting. Sleep well, Hectic. Ritzel. That's nice of you. That's definitely a part of their problems for sure. Hey there, G Nintendo. Calandris. Greetings, Acrylic. A lot of people remember that tutorial. Yeah, Netherworld, that's a game a lot of people have fond memories of. So this is like Limbo is another good example. Games that are almost entirely atmosphere as far as what they do well. So the atmosphere of Netherworld is still kind of cool today. Like, it's still a neat world that you're kind of in, and it's exploring without dialogue, and that's cool. It's an interesting atmosphere, but everything else about it is garbage. If you like atmosphere, if you're a really big fan of atmosphere in games, especially if you want to look back at like historical games and how they've done it in the past, it's worth checking out for that reason. But it's so bad otherwise. It's got terrible adventure game controls, or terrible adventure game mechanics with terrible controls on top of it, and not pleasant. But yeah, also known as Out of This World, depending on where you live. Hey, Asherim. Limbo had some okay, like, I rate Limbo relevantly higher. Like, Limbo's around a 6 or so. But, it's in the same realm, I say, because, like, the big thing that Limbo does really well is that atmosphere. A lot of people really love it because of that atmosphere. But its platforming and puzzles are mediocre. They aren't awful. Some of them are kind of good, some of them are kind of bad. But the thing it does well is the atmosphere. There's not a whole lot else that it's got strong there otherwise. Boy and his blob. Mad Balls and Babo Invasion. Screw that game, man. Multiplayer was completely broken, and that's the only reason we got it. It's like, hey, there's random cheap co-op game. Let's try it out. And it's just completely broken and really frustrating when it doesn't save your progress at all. I played too many random little bad Flash games. Look at this. Elven Quest, Burrito Bison, Hedgehog Launch 1 and 2, Pursuit of Hat. That's probably better than all of these other ones, honestly. But I didn't like it at the time. Toss the Turtle, there's another one. Here's your standard, like, that's probably like my average Flash game rating, just over a 4, probably. So many bad Flash games. Flow is one that people like, but I did not. I did not like Flow. If only there were Bad Rats co-op. There's what I have Earthbound. I still want to see if I can find sometime like a pure story like excerpt cut of someone playing through Earthbound. I don't want to watch someone else play all of Earthbound because it's like 30 frickin' plus hours long with just piles and piles of tedious grinding throughout most of the game, but there's so many people that love Earthbound and such. I really think I owe it to myself and to the game. I owe it to the game to see if I can find just the story elements of the game somewhere. So if anyone happens to know of any Let's Play like that just has the cool stuff, I would be interested in checking that out, and my opinion of Earthbound might go up a little bit if I find that part of the game strong. but mechanically it is a mess, and I don't really like any of the music I heard when playing it either, and I just found very little to like when I tried playing it. Not enough I could finish it. There's Chuck Rock. Squirrel knows all about Chuck Rock. That's right, Ritzel. Button dedicated to hugging the blob. That's amazing, though. I love that. Yep. This is not, this is like Doki Doki Panic, I think was the, series that Super Mario 2 was reskinned for. So I don't really have much nostalgia for it. I tried replaying it and hated the controls. Although, interestingly, I think I'm, like, it probably deserves higher than this still. I don't think the controls are as bad as, like, as this rating would deserve. I don't know what it was exactly, but maybe I was just in a bad mood that day or something like that, but I definitely didn't enjoy it when I played it casually in a race with some friends and stuff. But like I went back and like when I was commenting to someone else that Super Mario 2's controls were so bad, they're like, they're not really worse than Super Mario's 1. So I'm like, what? But then I like opened up an emulator, played Super Mario 1 for a little bit, like, wait, the controls of this are terrible too. Like Super Mario 1's controls are really stiff and not very good in a lot of ways. So I don't know, there's this probably deserves to be a little higher, and Super Mario 1 might deserve to be a little lower even. That would be an option, Hyphenated. Yeah, you just turbo speed through the battles. I would consider playing Earthbound in that context, just turbo through battles. Or I might even be able to find like mods to change encounter rates or something like that. This I want to check out again, because it seemed like it should be a lot better, so maybe I was doing something wrong, but it felt like it didn't work very well when I played it in Momentum there. Yeah, Suikoden, that's going to be another one that's going to be a little controversial, but I did not, well, I didn't really like Suikoden. I still kind of enjoyed the grindy-ish aspect of collecting all the people and seeing my castle kind of expand as I found new people to add to my army and stuff like that. That was enjoyable. That was a kind of a fun little thing in the game that I did enjoy, and it was like, cool, okay, we got new people, now this the castle expanded, we can all talk to each of the people we collected, and that it was a good feeling. But there wasn't like much else I enjoyed about the game other than, I guess, the music a little bit. Yeah, that exactly, Ivan. And it's not like the combat's like interesting enough to be worth like you're not really cheating yourself on an experience by hacking in stats like that and stuff. So Mario 2 was the one where you could choose to play Mario, Luigi, Toad, or Princess, and they all had like different mechanics a little bit. Like Luigi had this crazy, super floaty, awkward jump, and Peach could like float a little bit, and you had to like throw these eggs at the bird boss things, and yeah. Yeah, Asherim, I'm gonna finish reading your comment, but just instant response to your first thing. It's hard to say how exactly you should be rating or reviewing games. There's so many factors. Like I kind of do a little bit of a blend of how games felt when I first played them, how well I think they live up now, things like that. I mean, if I only played it now, I can only really judge it on how I feel it lives up now. That's always going to be my primary rating. It's like, how much did I enjoy playing this game when I played it? Is kind of my core basis for rating, but there's definitely other factors, like if I feel like I would like it a lot less, significantly less today than I did in the past, or anything like that. And I try to make notes like we did with FF1 and stuff, where it's like, okay, this is not actually a good game today, but I still kind of love it anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of factors. Like, I mean, do you want to rate a game based on how good you think it is, or how much you enjoyed it yourself? Those are not necessarily one and the same at all. This shines a little more through in board games for me, but there's definitely some board games that I think are pretty good, but I just don't really enjoy much myself. And vice versa as well. Like, I don't think Stone Age is like a bad game, but I think I like Stone Age a lot more than it deserves as far as its game design, but things like that. But it's complicated. You kind of try to make the best of it. There's that evil bass that chases you. There you go. I have it in it. Yeah, I basically know the origins. Yep, like Hyphenated said. But yeah, I talked to someone else that liked the games for Suikoden specifically, someone that I trusted, that I was like, okay, so I didn't really think Suikoden 1 was very good. Should I play the other ones? He's basically like, no. Like, there's not much reason to. They definitely have some good music for that. Total Annihilation, yeah, if you want to see Total Annihilation on the list, we're going to have to go back to the top of the list, not the bottom of the list here. There's Total Annihilation. Yeah, like, we were talking about how to consider rating games, too, but, like, Portal is an interesting one there. Like, I had this rated lower for a while, because, like, I played Portal a second time, and I was like, man, I enjoyed this, like, a lot less than the first time I played it. But, I mean, of course I did. A lot of it is kind of the surprises in the narrative and the cool ways GLaDOS is talking to you, and that's just really well done. And when I played it, it was an amazing experience the first time, and it's kind of why I got Steam in the first place. Is when I first got Steam, is when they would give it Portal away for free or whatever. But hey there, Sashaval. You got custom colors in Downwell. Oh, nice. That one actually looks pretty good. And you replaced Uwe Kopcha. That's a good one to replace. That looks way better. Way better. Chaos Legions, Axels. Yeah, I don't think I played that one. To Court the King, hyphenated. Okay. Yeah. I didn't especially like To Court the King. It was fine. I also am not heavily on the Roll for the Galaxy hype train, but I know a lot of people are. It was played a lot at SGDQ also, and I just it still feels kind of lacking in a lot of ways to me. I feel like the first expansion to it might help fix it for me a lot. Like the first expansion for Race for the Galaxy definitely fixed a lot of the problems I had with the game. But awesome, Calandris, awesome. Well, if they're gonna stream it, Squirrel, hopefully you or someone else can moderate it for it. I think I'm still assuming Undertale's gonna go a little bit on sale during the Steam sales and stuff, and maybe the Humble Bundle sales, all that jazz. I obviously don't know how much, but I'd expect it to go down 20%, 25%, something like that. But once that's posted and stuff, I'm thinking I'll just like kind of post in maybe the Twitch subreddit and be like, look, warning. If you're gonna stream this game, here's what you should be expecting. You should be expecting this amount of backseating. I personally will volunteer to mod your chat if I have the time to do it, because I believe in this game that much. So I guess probably my biggest thing hyphenated with Roll is that it just feels really hard to find things you're looking for like the buildings and stuff that like, you can't find 6-cost developments to save your life sometimes in Roll for the Galaxy, that anything that can help you, like, you just do like 3 search actions in a row and you discard all your things, but they're already buried under someone else's tile that they put face down, and you just don't have any way of getting those. And that part definitely felt frustrating to me. That one stood out. There's probably other stuff that I'm just not really coming to mind. I'd have to kind of probably even play the game again and kind of look at it to figure out what else I don't like about it. And to be clear, I still like the game decently. And my initial reaction was like, yeah, I like this quite a bit, but it kind of went down a little bit with a few more plays. The Resistance is fantastic. Absolutely love the Resistance. If we want to bring up board games, we can bring up board games and see Resistance right over at the top of that list. There we go. There's Resistance. I've played the Resistance with the designer before too. That was fun. A 2 hyphenated? Wow. That's a rude rating right there, man. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring that up if that's the case. That's 50 cents. If you guys don't have the letter V 6 times yet. Oh, this is Humble. Oh, you meant on the Humble store, right? Is what I'm guessing you meant there. Yeah, there it is. 50 cents. 50 cents. If you like platformers at all and you haven't played this, it's 50 cents. You should buy and play VVV. That is fantastic. What else? Rogue Legacy, do recommend. I don't like it as much as a lot of people do. It is a little grindy in some ways, and like you're expected to die and restart a few times. Like that's just kind of inherent to the game's design, and I wasn't really super fond of that. But it's still a fun experience. Psychonauts is only $1. And that's a really cool game. I've got that around an 8, I believe. And it's got some weaknesses mechanically. It has a bunch of collectible garbage that I recommend just ignoring as much of as possible. But the story's got a lot of humor and a lot of just really clever, funny stuff going on there. Squeaga, The Resistance is a pure social deduction game. Pure social deduction. If you've played Werewolf or Mafia, it's like an even like more focused version of that. So essentially, you've got 2 teams. You've got a couple of people that are going to be spies. The rest of the people are good guys. The spies know who the other spies are, but the good guys know nothing other than that. Fully open discussion. Someone will be the leader for a round. They're going to propose a team that's going to go on the mission. So they assign, like, say, 3 people to go on the mission, and then everyone votes if they think that's a good team or not. If it's a good team, then those people will go on the mission. If it's not, the vote fails, then it'll go to the next leader. They'll propose a new team. It could even be the same team. When they actually go on the mission, everyone on the mission is given a pass and fail card. If you're a good guy, you always have to put a pass card. If you're a spy, you can put either a pass or a fail card. You can go on a total of up to 5 total missions. If 3 missions go the spy's way, they win. If 3 missions are completed without any fails, then the good guys win. There's a few other variants there. You giving that face to Hanabi giving a 10? Hanabi's amazing, Blackfire Spirit. Hanabi's amazing. Amazing game. I don't even really like co-op games, but Hanabi is brilliant. Brilliant game. Never again. You were fine at Time's Up, Meekin. And the best way to get better is to play more. I love Time's Up though. Love Time's Up. Like half of my tins are Time's Up. There's Time's Up Total Recall, Time's Up Deluxe Celebrity, which is just the other version of Time's Up. Then we've got like the Board Game Geek Time's Up down here at 9.5. That one was a little bit worse. But yeah, if you like that style of game, I definitely recommend it. It's a very focused, elegant social deduction game that's amazing. Yeah, Maddie did get a little frustrated. What else is on sale? Roundabout. That's a very silly game that's got some kind of cleverly done full motion recorded cutscene things in this. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's an experience that's interesting. I haven't played it myself, but I've seen it. Cook Serve Delicious for $2. That's quite a good price there as well. SteamWorld Dig is okay at $2.50. I wouldn't recommend it highly, but if especially if you specifically like that style of thing where you're kind of going down, digging down, mining up some gems, upgrading your equipment, mining down further. If that sort of gameplay strongly appeals to you, then I would recommend this. It does that quite well. Catch you later, Calanders. The stream got way better when we stopped playing games. Yeah, that could definitely be a thing, Tricky. Mao is a very variable game in its experience. Although so is the Resistance, honestly. Like, if I'm rating the Resistance on the average game of the Resistance, it's gonna be much lower. But it's got so much potential if you get the right group together. It's so good with the right group, but it's still a lot of fun even with the with most wrong groups. So I mean, it's not like the sort of thing I would necessarily usually like hyphenated. It's a party game. It's very much a party game. Time's Up is there, but it just is a ton of fun. Even though I don't know who people are for the most part, compared to, well, depends on who I'm playing with, I guess. As we found out, I know who everybody is compared to the average speedrunner, but I don't know who anybody is compared to the average board gamer. I guess. I don't know. It's at least the people that I played with my board game group. I don't know who anybody is. But, the basic idea of Time's Up is you've got a set of cards. Base game, you're looking at names. So you got like set of 40 people. These could be fictional characters, contemporary people like presidents or whatever, or historical figures, etc. So 40 different people. First round, so normally on teams 2v2, that's kind of your base. You can expand to more players in a variety of ways, but base game, you're looking at 2v2. One person is giving clues to their teammate to try to get them to get the name on the card. First round, you can say basically anything you want other than what's on the card. You couldn't say like rhymes with Schmicky Schmaus, but otherwise you can say most anything else to try to get them there. You can try to sound out the word, you can describe who the person is, etc. Then you got like normally 30 seconds to get as many cards as you can. Then you pass it to the other team, go back and forth until all 40 cards are gotten. Note your scores, shuffle the same 40 cards together back and you're using the same cards again in round 2. In round 2, you're going to only have one word. So you only have one word to use. But since you've already gone through all the names, it actually is a lot easier to get there on one word than it is a full description, because you already know who most of the people are. Round 3, same cards again, but you can only use sound effects and pantomime. So sound effects acting to get people what you're at. You could hum a song a little bit, you could make gestures, whatever you need there. Round 2 and 3 you can pass as much as you want, but just a really fun, frantic team play game that I've always really enjoyed. And greetings, Limless, if I didn't say hi. Yeah, it's sort of like a Taboo hyphenated. It basically takes elements of a lot of party games. It has some elements of Taboo, some elements of like charades, things like that. Yes, Dyslexic Storm. Freaking Strom Thurmond ended up being like a dyslexic thundercloud. Because nobody had any idea who Strom Thurmond was. I mean, I guess I knew roughly who he was, but that doesn't help if nobody else does. Cards Against Humanity is okay, Blackfire. I have enjoyed what I've played of it, even though like the lewd humor is definitely not my sort of thing. Despite that fact, I still think it's a more fun game than Apples to Apples. I think its prompts and stuff are just more interesting, better written, and better set up for amusing results than Apples to Apples is. Even if I am not at all a fan of like I don't know, a fourth of the cards of the game I just kind of hate in Cards Against Humanity, but anything else worth noting here? AI War. Yeah, that's on sale at the Humble Bundle store as well. That's an excellent, I almost hesitate to call it a real-time strategy game. It's a real-time strategy game that almost plays more at the pace of a turn-based strategy game. But it works very well co-op. It's kind of dense, it's got a lot of stuff to learn, but in the end it's got a lot of really clever mechanics. It's kind of got the same sort of economy as Total Annihilation, where you can kind of start building stuff even if you don't have the full exact resources for it yet. You're kind of in control of that, and it does clever things with the AI and stuff. It's like the AI is expected to be stronger than you and be a bit of a jerk. Like it's not designed. You're not playing against other players ever. You're always playing against the AI, and since it's designed around that, and the fact that the AI is unfair to some extent, it works well with that setup. So basically, you rather than doing kind of your basic real-time strategy setup where it's like you're gonna conquer this area, take over this area, take over this next area, and just kind of progressively march towards or through your enemies or whatever, you have to be more careful with that in AI War. Because basically every time you take over a system in AI War, the AI is more alerted to your presence and more considering you a threat. So if you just sit there taking every system on the way to their homeworlds, they're gonna be like, okay, this thing's a real threat, we're going to crush it. And you will just get destroyed. So you need to carefully take key systems that have more important objectives, and that might mean you have to leave the AI alive in some other sectors, and you have to kind of handle that and manage it well, and it's a really cool game. It's dense, got a bit of a steep learning curve, but cool game. FF6, do not buy the FF6 remake. Strong recommendation against, because it looks like garbage. And yeah, I guess that's what we got to look at there. Ritzel. man, these 8s. I also want to lower Hearthstone now. I don't know. Hearthstone's a good game. I love these 8s though. Like Swap or Stanley Parable, Teslagrad, Ori and the Blind Forest, Type Souls. These are good games. So good. So good. Hey there, Gurmizu. I have not played Evo Land 1 or 2, Ansada. I wonder if I should play Lolo on stream sometime. It's a really cool puzzle game series. Squeak it. How many games on this list have I personally contributed to? That's an interesting question. We got Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, Ancient Domains of Mystery, Congai. It's not like a huge list, but I've definitely contributed to those 3 games. What else have I rated that I've contributed to? I'm not sure offhand. I guess technically on a much more minor scale, if you expand it to relevant and useful bug reports, then even like Dungeons of Dreadmore would be on that list that I've contributed to. Or League of Legends would be a legit contribution. I've actually helped fix a lot of crap in League of Legends, to be honest. Though I haven't played it in over a year at this point, really. But yeah, did a lot of. I found a major game-breaking bug in League of Legends, a rare freeze that caused everyone in the game to freeze for 6 seconds. I found the cause of that bug. Got that fixed. Yeah, Masquerade Bloodlines is good. It's a very good game. It's rough, and you definitely want to play with the fan patch, but it's so yeah, the bug in that that I was talking about with League of Legends, when Brand's passive. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, we got different champions that are dueling with different abilities. His passive ability caused a little bit of damage over time when he cast a spell on someone else. So if that passive effect, that little bit of damage over time, was the cause of killing Anivia, another character. Nivea's passive is that when they die, they become an egg instead. So they don't immediately die. You have to kill the egg to finish them off, and if you don't kill the egg, they'll be reborn. So they're an ice phoenix is kind of the idea of Anivia. But if you trigger Anivia's egg with Brand's passive, it caused the game to freeze for everyone that's playing for the entire 6 seconds until Anivia came back alive from their egg. Yeah, I think I remembered hearing a little bit about that, Ritzel. But yeah, this was really a funny and engaging game, except for the terrible gameplay. And I never even finished the game because the sewer level just took all enthusiasm I had for the game and stampeded it. Stampeded? Trampled? Trampled is the word I actually wanted, but I kept thinking stampede in my head for some reason, so I ended up with stampled. But yes, it trampled my enthusiasm, the terrible sewer section. But if you do play this game, which I do recommend if you pick it, especially if you can pick it up cheap and like RPGs, I strongly recommend playing as a Malkavian. If you're confident you're going to play through it multiple times, play as something else first, but unless you're confident you're going to play through it multiple times, just make sure you get the best experience first and start with a Malkavian and enjoy the glory of being a Malkavian. The crazy vampires that know a lot of things but are also insane. And it's glorious. It's glorious. Crumble. Okay, that's the word. Sure. So yeah, Recketeer. You're looking at that right here. Yeah, Recketeer. Recketeer is another good example. There's tons of these. I mean, the one I talk about most often is Isaac, where there's cool stuff, but like, why didn't they make it better? Why? They could have made it so much better. There's like really cool base gameplay and concepts in Recketeer that's just enjoyable and fun, but it fails on so many levels. Like the game design doesn't fit what it's trying to let you do and make you do. It's very at odds with itself. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a game where you're running a shop and you can like hire people to go into dungeons to collect loot, so you can then craft stuff and then like sell it at your shop, things along those lines. But you keep like, there's a bunch of like progression in the game where you can start hiring new people, send them into the dungeon. Some of them have different little abilities and you got all stuff like that. But the way like leveling and stuff works is that you're basically punished, is because you're in debt. You're in horrible debt. You need to be paying off each month, and before failing horribly and stuff. So you're trying to make as much money as possible. And you want to experiment, right? You want to like send new people in dungeons, see what their different abilities are, and play with them, maybe level them up a little bit more too and stuff. But doing that is actively bad for your success because they don't have the level ups and experience of your other guys already. So you're just punishing yourself and going to be making less money if you're actually exploring the game and trying new things. And it's got problems. But it's still a fun game. Well, it's I don't know. The pronunciation of this is weird because it's a combination of Reset and Tier, the main characters of the game, but it's also a pun on Racketeer. So I kind of try to pronounce it somewhere in between those. Deus Ex. So Ashram, I didn't like Deus Ex, and that's a game I don't know, is probably just better than I think it is, or enjoyment I got out of it. It's definitely very well regarded, but when I played Deus Ex, I didn't really enjoy it. It's somewhere in the middle, like, I don't know, 5.5, something like that. Where it's like, okay, I kind of had a little bit of fun doing this, but That's how I felt about Deus Ex, but it was a long time ago too. So that one's rated kind of low, but with a caveat, I don't have a strong opinion or a really informed opinion of it. Reset Tier is the gameplay, Asher. Yeah, a lot of resetting to not fail horribly. And then, like, yeah, the combo systems had some major problems. It did a very bad job explaining game concepts in several cases. There were stuff, yeah, remember that. See, now I'm, like, getting angry again. Like, at first I'm, like, looking at it, like, 6.5 almost feels low, because, like, I do kind of remember enjoying it, but, man, like, freaking... There's I wish I like have the exact example. I don't remember the exact example. Oh no, it is. Yeah, time. Okay, I should learn to read my own comment. Time doesn't work the way the game tells you it does at all. Like, it explains this thing and like is like a little tutorial thing. Like, this is how it works. No, it's not. That's BS. Thanks for just lying to me, game. But yeah. Yeah, indeed, Squeega. There's some potentially interesting post-game content, but that's a huge grind to get to, and not very interesting. Dungeon design is bad, because there's a bunch of trivial monsters that you can just abuse to get tons of experience, so there's, like, bad balance there. And then there's a heavy amount of randomness in the loot you can find, but... It's cool. It's it's cool in a lot of ways. It just could be so much better. It could be so much better. Ashram, I was talking about the first one. I've not really played Human Revolution or the third one, which I don't even know about? Question mark. Yeah, all the I played all the Civ games, Calterac. Civ 5 with expansions, probably up to a 7.5, I guess. I don't know. Civ 5 was kind of horribly broken on release, to be honest, in a lot of ways, both in building balance and AI that didn't even know how to use the frickin' water, and co-op play, like making the AI just broken and not do anything, and lots of stuff like that just were huge problems. And the expansions, I mean, fix a lot of that, but it's kind of stupid that they had to put out all those expansions to fix it in the first place. But I think Civ 4 with Beyond the Sword is probably the best Civ game experience available. But there's cool things in Civ 5. There's cool things even back in like Civ 2 and such. But I haven't played StarMade Squigga. What I've seen of it doesn't make me interested in it, but I don't know. I could definitely enjoy something like that. It varies. So you see, I've got like Minecraft and Terraria rated very highly. I enjoyed those a ton. Playing those co-op with a small group of friends, great experience. I should change. This is a meaningless, stupid comment, but at that time when I was thinking that, and when Terraria was like new and stuff, it was like, hey, Minecraft and Terraria, those are the two games like that. Now there's like another bajillion of them and stuff, but I would be afraid it would be closer to something like Starbound. Like, it would be... Starbound to Terraria would be StarMade to Minecraft. Which is just a way worse version of the same ideas, basically. I still enjoyed some of Starbound, but it had so many problems. The one of the most subtle problems I want to point out with Starbound that I think a lot of people would miss, that's I think is interesting, is everything in Starbound is some unique, interesting thing, which actually means that nothing in the game is unique or interesting. Because every little random thing you can find, you just clutter up your inventory trying to collect a bunch of different type of stuff. It's like, hey, I went to this one planet and found this cool little area that's got all this unique stuff in it. Oh, that's actually true if you go to any planet ever, no matter what. So it loses a lot of the potential like specialness and interestingness and cool feeling of those sorts of situations when it happens all the time, and every little like unique piece thing. Like, for example, like I can't really speak as much for modern Minecraft, I haven't played it, but like finding a dungeon in Minecraft was also kind of cool because you could dig up those moss blocks, and you couldn't find those anywhere else. And if you wanted to like build something out of those blocks, you would need to find dungeons to do it, and it would be just like an added little bonus of finding that cool little hidden area and stuff. But Starbound kind of has opposite problem, where there's just so many things there, and it's got like a really terrible quest setup, things like that. It's still kind of fun, but it's just a way worse version of Terraria. And Calterac, subscription! Welcome to the crew, good sir, madam. Thank you very much for the support. I do appreciate it. North and South, oh man, North and South. I had fun playing that like on an emulator against a friend, like just little multiplayer and stuff. It's kind of awful, but also kind of fun. Terraria has gotten like, I don't know, 3 or 4 huge updates in its lifetime. Let's see. Juyorikin, welcome to the chat. No Man's Sky, I'm not really familiar with, so I can't really comment on that, I'm afraid. But it's an easy thing to fall into. Like I can easily see how they fell into that problem with Starbound, where it's like, hey, let's keep adding new stuff, just new content. Like now we got these different races in the game, so they each kind of have different equipment, different relics and stuff you can find in their little towns or little underground bases and stuff like that. And like I can see how you fall into that pattern, but I think it really hurts the experience of the game overall in the end. Yeah, indeed, Zaxel. Like, I mean, there's a balance. Like, you want your players to be able to find cool stuff and feel excited about it, but you definitely want to avoid making it so commonplace that it's not actually an interesting or exciting thing. Like, when it becomes commonplace is where we kind of go back to what I was complaining about, a lot of stuff like Borderlands, Diablo, where a lot of times it's like, okay, which number is higher? I guess we'll use this, or this is very slightly better. It's like, there's still some cool stuff there, and it isn't always mundane by any means. I don't mean to overstate the point, but when it's a little more rare and stuff, that it's like your special effects are actually a unique kind of interesting thing when it like pops up. Oh, hey, I haven't seen something like that. What does that do? That's cool, and so on and so forth. Ark. Yeah. Ark is a shady, like made by a super shady company too, so I almost like just strongly recommend against it for that reason alone. But it's got some cool things going on. I played it when it was free weekend or whatever. Vermeer, highest rated games. Ritzel linked up the ratings there, but we can hop back over there real quick. But Undertale, Total Annihilation, Portal, Final Fantasy VI, and Cave Story are my 10s. Hey there, Zimmy. Yeah, exactly, Gurmizu. Exactly. Things along those lines. And we were talking about ratings based on like when we first played the game versus how well we think they live up today and stuff. Like, if I'm rating Cave Story on how well I think it lives up today, it is relevantly lower. Like, I still think it's a good game, but Cave Story and how good I think it is like today. If I played it for the first time today, what would I think of Cave Story? It would probably be a 7.5, maybe an 8. Be somewhere around that area. Like, it would still be a good game. I would still enjoy it, but it wouldn't be kind of the magical experience that it was when I first played it. But like, I mean, Cave Story largely reignited my love of platforming games when I first played it. So that was just a really cool experience. I mean, I still have it as a 6.5 at Devon. Like, I still enjoyed Ark. It's got some definite problems, but it's got potential beyond like being a super. So FF6 is on Steam, Zimmy, but don't buy it. Don't buy FF6 on Steam. It's a garbage version. It's a garbage version. Like in Devin's response to no. So here, let's see if we can bring up some screenshots of this. Let's see. Kind of wanna. I don't know if I'm gonna accidentally show something weird on stream here. Let's do this real quick. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing too weird to show. That's all gonna be cut off there on Steam. Okay, that's probably all fine. Alright, let's bring that back up. There's my casual monitor. There we go. Let's see if we can see in the video here. Let me let's pause this. Let's watch this trailer. But yeah, you don't want to buy this on Steam. We'll see if the trailer makes it look hype or not. Oh, it's not showing anymore. Damn it! I'm glad I looked, but I thought I thought the trailer would still show, but apparently when I full screen it, it doesn't show. Alright, we'll just watch it windowed here for right now. That's fine. Yeah, there you go, Blackfire. It's not on Steam. It's not on Steam. It's gonna be kind of hard to show off things that look. Oh yeah, there. Ah, I need a full screen version of this. But the sprites. The sprites are utter garbage. Just utter garbage. I could probably find a better example here, but yeah, no, there we go. That you can see that pretty clearly. Just look at these sprites and tell me that anyone should be paying money for this as a remake, an HD remake of the game. Just look at that hot garbage there. Like, what is this? Why? Why would they do this? See, I mean that looks fine, but and this is kind of weird. God, what is that crap? But these sprites, like the most glaring thing is that they don't fit in the world they're in. Like the sprites are clearly made by different people than who like redid the backgrounds and stuff, and it doesn't fit at all. They just look like they're pasted on in this awkwardness. I'm someone who doesn't really care that much about graphics in general, but if you're making an HD remake, don't make it like actively worse than the original. This is just a mess. And look at this recent update too. This is a good reason to not be interested in it if this was a case. Update! Now you can play it in offline mode. You know, this game that is completely single player and shouldn't require internet connectivity at all. Now you can play it offline. We updated to allow that to happen. Yeah, exactly, Zaxels. Graphics and art style are very, very different things. But yeah, this is unacceptable, basically. Unacceptable. They did the same thing with FF5, and these actually look good. Like most of the other things look better. Although this doesn't. This is another subtle thing that's looks pretty awful. Like the way the characters are kind of just like floating in the combat and stuff. I guess that's probably the only screenshot here, but there's some in FF5 I've seen that are way worse, where the characters are just kind of awkwardly floating on the background. They don't look like they're kind of part of the battle. They're just kind of floating there, things like that. But yeah, definitely some problems there. Definitely some problems. Catch you later, Macon. Sleep well. It varies, Ivan. I don't play a whole lot of remixes and remakes and stuff, so I don't have a huge amount of experience in that regard. But it varies. And like as far as I know, like the FF4 remake, for example, is done competently. That one's actually done well. I'm gonna hide the screen again real quick. Let's look up. Is that gonna be enough to find what I'm looking for? If I look for FF5 remake bad, yes, that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, we've brought this up on stream a few times, but this way we can talk a little bit more clearly about what we were talking about. So again, same thing with FF6. Sprites look like utter garbage, but what else happens is look at this moon. This asteroid or whatever here, and look at how visible the seams are between the tiles. Like they don't line up right at all because they just like resized things and didn't they resized like a sprite sheet rather than doing it based on an individual tile. So it didn't like they don't fit together right anymore. They just look like a mess. Like that's unacceptable. Like why? Who was like, yeah, no, that's all we need to do. That's HD now. We're good to go. Good to go. Like this is way worse graphically, just raw graphically, but everything works together aesthetically as a whole style here. And the characters actually look like they're part of the game, rather than this weird-ass pasted-on nonsense over here. But yeah, it's a neat little article about doing HD remakes well and stuff. But yeah, here's FF4. Like this looks fine. You could maybe make some complaints about it here and there, but this is like competent. Here's the original and the remake. This is mostly just like a fancier, nicer version of this. That's mostly what it is. That's pretty good. I think these like bushes look a little weird, but I mean, like the characters maybe still look a little weird, but like they aren't just like clearly, blatantly, eye-bleedingly something that absolutely does not belong. You might still be able to turn on the old graphics, Arnhem. I'm not actually sure on that. Does anyone know on the FF6 on Steam there if you can turn on the old version or not? Obviously that was something like, for example, Cave Story did and things like that, but not all games are going to do that with their HD remakes, so I don't know. I don't know on that. Let's see. Had a lot of good little discussion there. Yes, piles of pixels. We need more pixel stat. That's how it looks good, right? You add more pixels. And just like if it's 3D, you gotta add more polygons. That's what you would add instead. Hey there, Odido! Yeah, Monkey Island did that really seamlessly to Arnob, where you could basically like hit a button and switch between the original style and the remake. That was done well. I agree on that one, Arnob. And yeah, Squirrel, I liked the new graphic update for Cave Story. I thought it generally looked better. I thought the main character quote looked a little weird. I wasn't the biggest fan of how his sprite ended up looking, but overall I thought it was an improvement and definitely looked better. Like the backgrounds and stuff just looked a lot smoother and nicer. The music, on the other hand, was a mess, and well, specifically the music that I always mix up Nifilus and Nicholas, but let's see, Cave Story. Let's do Cave Story NI. That should bring up what we're looking for. Nicholas. Okay. The music Nicholas made for Cave Story was really half-assed and bad. Just really not really well done. Though there was one song that I actually liked. Like the first song that I heard of their remake was Moon Song, and it was a really cool version. Like they had that on their little like preview trailer page and stuff like that, and it was like, hey, that's cool. That's promising. Oh, wait, you're gonna not put that same effort into the other songs at all, and they're gonna just be bad, half-assed versions that don't fit the same pacing and tone of the original music at all? I didn't really like Danny B's music they had for, what, the 3DS version, I think is what they made it for, either, but it's definitely better. It's not bad. I definitely prefer the original music, though. Though it's always hard to separate yourself from stuff like that. Like I know this is definitely true for me, and I think it's true for a lot of people. Like the experience you have first is definitely going to kind of stand out as the true or original or best experience for stuff like that in a lot of ways. I even remember noticing that way back with, like, I don't know, dubbed cartoons and stuff, like Dragon Ball Z or whatever, where, like, if a character changed voices at all, like, whatever one you heard first is going to be the one that sounds better. And sounds like what the character's supposed to sound like. So that could definitely be something that can be hard to distance yourself from. But I'll say that the Nicalis version of the music is definitely just bad. Like, it's actually badly done. Whereas the Danny B stuff, I think I like relevantly less, maybe is worse in some ways, but I won't confidently say that it's just bad. I mean, I don't have it handy to really listen to, but like Running Hell, the version of that, like it loses all of its pacing and momentum and like emphasis that Running Hell has. That like nice kind of build up. Like it has the build up like done in this really awkward, slow, drawn out way that doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. Hey there, Rick. I feel weird, honestly, that like I legit consider Undertale my favorite game now. Like I'm not supposed to consider a new game that just came out like my all-time favorite game out of 800 games I've played. That's not something that's supposed to happen. And I remember one of our regulars here basically mentioned that it's their favorite game, and I almost scoffed. I'm like, oh, just this brand new game. He's calling it his favorite game. Like, how does that happen? That they must not have played very many games, or like just it's like, oh, you naive child, or whatever's kind of my thought almost on it. But it's like, oh, but it's actually good enough. But yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. I'll play this on stream at some point when we do like a little platformer marathon, which I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. I think it will. Setting up stuff like that's kind of a lot of work and not really like much direct payoff other than it's just kind of neat and shows off a bunch of cool games. But like I'm not going to like be rewarded with a bunch of viewers if I'm playing a bunch of obscure platformers nobody's heard of, whether it's a marathon or not. So, I mean, there's a little like direct payoff or anything like that, and it is a lot of work, but I still think it would be fun. I do like the idea of doing some of those little marathons and just showing off a bunch of different cool platformers or other themed marathons like that. Electronic Super Joy would be in a platformer marathon for sure. That's an awesome game. Yeah, exactly, Kanik. That's kind of how I feel. Like, I mean, if people looked at my page or my Twitch page and stuff, it's like, oh, what's your favorite game? Well, Cave Story. No, Cave Story is not something I really consider a favorite game per se, but I think it's got a cool aesthetic, and I really like that we've decided to kind of theme our channel around it and stuff, and I like that. It's a good game, and it was important for me, and a good game, but it's like favorite game, FF6. Yeah, one of the strongest storylines you can find in video games. Great experience. Always loved it as a kid. Loved it when I replayed it. Music, still some of the best music from video games. Yeah, but it's kind of a grindy mess that's not very good gameplay-wise and drawn out more than it should be, and has some problems with the translation, the writing, and like I wouldn't like normally pick a favorite per se. It'd be like, yeah, these are all great games and some of my favorites. Exactly, I believe. Exactly. Humongous marathon? I don't think so. Blackfire. I don't think so. There's probably not a whole lot of need to do polls for those things, Rick. Like, the idea of a platformer marathon like that would be largely me showing off games that I think are great and should be looked at. Of the ones that I've experienced and stuff. So it's not something I necessarily need to ask what other people think. Like, other people aren't going to vote for Knit Stories, but it's a free platformer Metroidvania that's just really simple but a lot of fun. So like that's something I would show off in that experience. Nobody would even know what the hell this game is. This obscure Game Jolt indie platformer freeware title that, I don't know, probably only a 4-digit number of people have ever even played. But I would show that off because it's just simple, really fun. Like it's another game that could be better though. Like it's actually got like this interesting story idea in it that could be built up and could have some depth to it, but they just kind of slough it off as just a little jokey thing that they didn't put any effort into or make interesting writing for. But that's another case, like, oh man, like there's room. I see the potential for a good story in this little simple platformer. There's room for it, but they don't really expand on it at all. Hey there, Coleslaw. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed Psychonauts 1 quite a bit, but I don't have a strong love of Tim Schafer. I'm indifferent. I'm very indifferent to the whole thing myself. If it ends up being a good enough game, I'll probably play it at some point. That's pretty much how that goes. Tetranet. It's amazing, man. The freaking the music that they had with Tetranet, like that, just instantly started going through my head. Like I heard so much of that, even though I haven't heard it in like a decade or more, probably. It's this cool little just electronic beat or whatever that song instantly started going through my head. Oh man, Lisa, I don't know. I haven't played Lisa. It comes up in conversations like, well, you loved Earthbound, and Lisa's not as good as it, but if you liked Undertale. If you like Undertale, you should play Lisa. I've seen some of it played. I've seen some of it talked about, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying anything, but I don't exactly expect to like it very much. But saying that when we're talking about Undertale in the same sentence is, if I didn't expect to like Undertale either. But what I know of Lisa makes me think I would like it relevantly less. It's got a lot of backtracking. It's got very unfair boss fights, so it's some awkwardness mechanically that you kind of have to just figure out trial and error. Problems along those lines. It's a lot less polished. My understanding is it definitely does some cool things with like storytelling and choices, decisions that you're making, especially being meaningful and being tough decisions to make in a narrative-driven game. So my understanding is that's again this is my description of a game I've never played and don't know that much about, obviously. So giant grain of salt and all that, but so it's mechanically probably pretty bad, but probably has cool decision making for a narrative-driven game. I guess that would be my summary of what I know and expectations of it. I'm still salty. Rocket League won Indie Game of the Year on those Game Awards, and look, I rated an 8. Like that's top 5% of my ratings right there. Rocket League, it's a fantastic game. Recommend it very highly. Complete and utter BS that it won. There's been some good games this year though. Rocket League, Undertale, Ori and the Blind Forest, all excellent games. Titan Souls. I mean, other people would cite things like Witcher 3 and Fallout 4, which are not my style and not games I've played. I'll probably never play Fallout 4. Definitely a probably. It's a definite probable, because it's something that could easily change given the right circumstances. But I don't really see that happening. I could see Witcher 3 happening a little more likely, but there's also a lot of stuff I wouldn't expect to like in that either, so I don't know. Don't know. Wow, hyphenated. Most unsatisfying boss design in Titan Souls, huh? Specific boss or just in general? I forget if we I think we did talk about that a bit, yeah. Coleslaw. Well, I mean, I'd rather the game that will like actively impact how games are made in the future and is amazing and polished experience in all fronts win instead of just a game that's I shouldn't even say just a game. Rocket League's really good. Rocket League's a great game. It's a polished and great experience itself, but I don't know. I don't mean just a game, but. I guess I could see that, hyphenated. Tricky, that's true. That's true. That is a very true point. I guess, so I'm in a good spot, I guess, like, skill-wise for Titan Souls, where it was still, like, almost all of the bosses were reasonably challenging for... Maybe not almost all. Most of the bosses were reasonably challenging for me. But generally they didn't really feel BS-y to me. Like, they were all ultimately pretty fair, except for the hard mode final secret boss felt like BS, basically, but everything else was good. And I really love the music and the aesthetic, and enjoyed Titan Souls kind of more than one might expect in a lot of ways. Play GoldenEye. Man, speaking of things that probably don't live up so well today, but definitely had a lot of good times with GoldenEye in a lot of ways. Throw it out on some like slappers only one-hit kills in the temple. You got any number of creative options like that, but I never actually fully beat that single player. I came so close to beating the Moonraker level on hard or whatever, but didn't ever quite do it. We've definitely talked about board games and stuff a lot in the past, Vermeer. Are you specifically interested in like the games I have as my collection, or just my ratings for them and stuff? Tipple was probably the average person's favorite in GoldenEye. They brought that one back in Perfect Dark, although they changed it mechanically quite a bit, because you could drop down that that hole in the middle from the top, which I think is probably a good change, but it's definitely quite a bit different. I don't know, some stupid platformer game, Blackfire. We get more viewers be rambling about board games than playing Rayman Origins, apparently, but I'm fine with it either way. Like I said, I wasn't like too concerned or upset that no one was watching Rayman. It was just kind of an interesting thing to note that like how few people were interested in watching that. There were board games there. I haven't really been board gaming as much lately. Have I even played a board game since Halloween? I don't think I've played a board game since Halloween. That's unusual for me. Normally go to a board gaming group about once a week. Coleslaw. Well, like, someone, I think it was a Devin maybe, that described at one point that, like, Undertale isn't a game full of memes. Undertale's a game that created memes because it's just people are passionate enough and enthusiastic enough about the game. But I mean, whatever. If it gets more people to know about the game and potentially get interested in it, that's a good thing. Obviously, it's gonna have some of the opposite effect of that to some people that are gonna hear it talked about in rather meme-tastic contexts, I guess, often enough that that'll drive them away from it a little bit. But then you just need someone like me to be like, no, look. I know it doesn't look like your type of game necessarily, and I didn't think I was gonna like it at first either. But you should just trust me on this and play Undertale anyway. Just play the game. Don't look up anything about it. Don't try to figure out if you're gonna like it or not. Doesn't matter. You just play that game. Cherish that game. Yeah, Bonanza's an all-time favorite for sure. Oh, that looks weird with the new box art there. Huh. Little surprised we didn't actually end up playing Bonanza at SGDQ. It's mildly surprising. Too busy playing 2 Rooms and a Boom the entire convention, basically. Yeah, I've played Catacombs Exodus. I wasn't too enthusiastic. That's probably not even on this page. Yeah, that's gonna be next page on Catacombs. Wow, it's actually on the 3rd page. Alright. Forgot just how low I rated Catacombs. Yeah, I think I lowered my rating again after I played it again. There we go, Catacombs. I've got it at a 5. Like, I think it's kind of a clever idea, Catacombs Exodus, that it's kind of combining the dexterity game and the dungeon crawl, but it just doesn't work very well. Like, the mesh of them isn't interesting or good enough to really justify the fact that it's a mesh of 2 genres that don't really work well together. Like, it's cool to try out as a concept, but I don't think it actually works very well. The boards don't really work very well for actually flicking. That's not what you want for a flocking game. I almost don't want to edit the comment. It's from 5 years ago. But yeah, the surfaces of the board aren't actually very good for flicking, and mechanically it's very kind of dull and not too fleshed out to make it super interesting. It's not awful. Like, if you have a chance to try it, it's probably worth trying if it sounds interesting to you, but I wouldn't go out and buy it. Yeah, I played Super House of the Dead Ninjas once Chaotic. It's good. It, in a lot of ways, is similar enough to like something like Spelunky. Spelunky's just better, that I would generally just rather play Spelunky than Super House of Dead Ninjas, but it's got some good flow, good fun gameplay to it, and it's pretty cheap. It's a good game that's just kind of overshadowed, basically. Yeah, I didn't. Well, that's overstating it, but I wasn't enthusiastic about Istanbul Vermeer. I wasn't enthusiastic about it. It was fine. It was fine. The old one, Exodus. I assume I played it twice, but I think I've only played the older version. Wait, thought I just looked and it wasn't on the other page for Istanbul. Maybe I didn't. Fine. I actually do have it at a 7. I thought I only had it at a 6.5. Okay, I wasn't like sold as like this game's the greatest thing this year or anything like that, but it's a good game. It's a good game. I misremembered how I remembered it. Heard of Indivisible yet? The way you said it, Blackfire, you probably mentioned it before, and I said I hadn't heard of it, and it doesn't really ring a bell now either. But let's see, Exodus. What was that game called? Dungeon Fighter? Yeah. If you're specifically looking for like silly drunken dexterity, you might look into a Dungeon Fighter instead. That's somewhat along the same lines, but it's a cooperative game instead, and you're kind of you still like you have to like roll dice in silly ways and stuff to make it qualify, and it still needs to like land in the right spots, and you try to get hits and stuff. I still don't really recommend it that highly, but it might be better for that specific thing you're looking for there. Got Pandemic at a 7 too. It's solid. I'm not a big fan of traditional co-ops in general. By that I kind of mean like one-player games that can be played by multiple people. That's like what Pandemic is, Ghost Stories, etc. So I'm not a huge fan of that style of co-op board game for the most part. But I think Pandemic is definitely one of the better ones of that style. Haven't played Nobody is Perfect for beer. Not really familiar with that one. I don't know why I have a copy of this. This is an obscure game from ancient times, and the box. The biggest problem with this game is that the box is ginormous. Well, it's still not as big as some of the modern, like, huge games like, I don't know, Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition or whatever, but it's just super, super wide. It's kind of the same length as, I don't know, your standard, like, large Monopoly box or whatever, but it's an extra, like, 6 inches wide on top of that really awkward box to just move around or do anything with. 1 mile on each side. The box is not square, I'm sorry. The box of Square Mile is not square. They missed out on opportunity there. The box of Blocus is square. Square mile of surface. What? Did they recently do a reprint on Mission Red Planet? I'm thinking that that's a thing that happened. I wouldn't really compare Mission Red Planet and Alien Frontiers other than that they're both kind of space-themed games. They play very, very differently, but I definitely do like Mission Red Planet better. I used to like Mission Red Planet a lot. My opinion kind of went down a little bit as I played more and more games, but I still think it's pretty good. Alien Frontiers, I think, is kind of meh. I've heard its expansion fixes some of its problems again. That's a common thing that happens a lot too often for my taste, but it's got a massive, massive pick on the leader in-game sort of problem that's not good, and dice worker placement is fine, but nothing special. Love Letter. I don't like Love Letter at all. Yeah, you can post links from here. I am not a fan of Love Letter. I haven't played Pandemic Legacy, and I really won't ever, probably, because that's like there's been 2 separate groups playing Pandemic Legacy in my board game group for the past, like, I don't know, a couple months here or whatever, so me getting that would probably not happen, but I'm fine with that. I don't like the Legacy mechanics in general. Like, I don't think Risk Legacy is good at all. It's kind of, I'm a little torn because I think the concept's a little bit clever, but I don't think it's actually good. By you reference true co-op there, Hyphenated, you're talking about when I was saying things about Pandemic and stuff. I mean, there's still a truly cooperative experience in that you aren't competing with the other players, yes. Or if you're talking about Pandemic Legacy, that is true of that as well. It's still an actual co-op, not a competitive co-op, which competitive co-op is a broken mechanic in general, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't ever actually work right. Hoity-toity. I liked Hoity-toity a lot when I first played it. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I liked it pretty well when I first played it, but I liked it a lot less on further plays. It's still fine, but it's kind of got a weird rubber banding and a little too much chaos for the game length, things like that I wasn't... Oh wow, I actually dropped it all the way to a 4.5. Thought I still had it at least a 5 or something, but... My opinion of it fell. It's got some good... Ingenious is a good game that I didn't like. It's got some good company right there. There's Alien Frontiers. It's got good production values for self-publishing, and that's definitely a true thing for Alien Frontiers. Oh, gotcha. Hyphenated. Yeah, I doubt it really fixes the quarterback problem. I don't think that's... I think the problem... That problem's overstated a bit in Pandemic and stuff, but it kind of depends on the group, and I think a lot of times, at least for me, it's still like, even if other people are like kind of pointing out the good suggestion for a given player to do, if you're playing with the right people, you're kind of still doing that as a team. It kind of just means that rather than playing a co-op where everyone is kind of doing their own role, it's kind of a co-op where everyone's playing this single-player Pandemic game where you're kind of trying to figure out the best move for each role or something. So it could still be a not particularly quarterbacky co-op experience in that fashion. Dreadmore. I could rant about Dreadmore. If I'm gonna keep talking, yeah, we'll keep talking. I don't need to go to bed. I'm really pretty tired right now, but I did get a lot of sleep. I need to at least refresh my beverage here, and I'll come back talk about Dreadmore and some other stuff there. But give me a minute. I've been out of drink and getting my throat's starting to die here. Be back in just a moment. Enjoy the music. Alrighty, we are back, and we got cookies. I might eat some cookies. But yeah, it looks like Chad actually covered a lot of my thoughts on Dungeon of Dreadmore there too. But we'll bring it up. Always good to have my comments and stuff for reference here. Let me catch up if I missed anything else on chat. So, single biggest problem with Dungeon of Dreadmore is the crafting system. It's got the second worst crafting system in any game, I think. Basically, Sword of the Stars of the Pit, which is it has a crafting system directly inspired by Dreadmore, manages to make it even worse. But yeah, the crafting system and the inventory management in Dreadmore is a nightmare. So my big problems, like part of what Hyphenated said, difficulty was very variable and not so good. My experience with it was basically like there was a little bit of difficulty early on, and then there was a whole bunch of no difficulty, and then the last part was finally hard again. That was my experience when we won our game on stream a long while back. That's definitely going to vary very wildly based on the like skills and stuff you end up choosing. Some are just way stronger than others. They definitely did a priority on the humor of the game rather than the balance or gameplay. And I'm not like super enthusiastic about the humor, but it tends to cause more complexity in the game without actually making it better. But yeah, like I also am not at all a fan of the length of the game when like it's got a specific mode to make it shorter, and that shorter mode is still really repetitive and grindy. Like this was how I described my my time spent. Like 40% of my time, like I don't even know if that's an exaggeration at all, was spent just managing my inventory and figuring out what I could craft, what items I should save, storing items that could be useful later, and then another big chunk of time is just spent sitting there killing trash mobs. Like, okay, easy kill, thoughtless execution, just killing stuff. And then what's left is like decisions on how to spend my resources, how to handle some of the tougher fights, or when I get encounters with multiple different enemies and things like that. So there's some good stuff there. I still kind of enjoyed the core roguelike gameplay, but I can't recommend it at all. Like, I would recommend playing basically any other roguelike instead of Dreadmore, personally. Except maybe Sword of the Stars of the Pit, which has a lot of the same problems as Dreadmore. A lot of the same problems. It's better in some ways, even worse in others. Glad you enjoyed the music, Rick. Yeah, like Exodus said, the humor got in the way of gameplay. Dreadmore was the only roguelike you liked, Ludwig? Interesting. But yeah, talking about Sword of the Stars of the Pit versus Dreadmore a little bit, has the same problem of being like way too drawn out for the amount of gameplay and depth it actually offers. It makes the crafting system even worse by kind of implementing an in-game mechanic to learn crafting recipes over time, gradually, to be able to actually progress and build useful stuff in the game, and it is more difficult to manage your inventory. You can't go back and pick up old things, so you have to make sure you're keeping exactly what might be useful for your situation, and You want to know exactly what's useful there, which either is a massive amount of trial and error or looking stuff up. But on the plus side, Sword Stars the Pit has a much better difficulty pacing and curve, where things kind of ramp up in difficulty and stay challenging a good part of the game. The Pit also felt like it had a fairly relevant luck factor. Like, luck played a kind of big role in a lot of ways, but... excuse me. But I definitely did not play enough of the Pit to say confidently that it did have that luck factor. So, like, for counter reference there, when I first played FTL, it felt like luck was a big part of it, and you just lost half of the time out of your control. That's how that game feels at first to a lot of people, myself included. But we've since very vehemently proven that's not the case by winning over 90% of the time on hard. But yeah, like, things in Sword and Stars the Pit, like, specifically, like, the huge swing in your power level if, like, you get or fail, like, a 70% chance to open a crate that has a new weapon in it when your other weapon's starting to deteriorate and fall apart there. That's a massive swing in your ability to succeed in the game. So it feels like that's a big luck factor, but I can't actually say confidently that is the case. I do not have enough experience. Yeah, Promethean Magic was ridiculous in Devon. I think that's what I used when I won, and it was just, like, trivial most of the game. Oh, you're fine, Coleslaw. We're discussing games here. That's the whole idea. It's not throwing a Dreadmore spanner to the works. It's opening up a good conversation topic. Hey there, Kepo. I have not played Pillars of Eternity, no. I don't really expect I would like it that much, but there's probably some cool stuff that I would find interesting in it. I don't know. I've got so many other games that I think I would like more than it that hasn't really been a priority to try out, but something that I could see myself trying at some point, possibly. Yeah, Hammer Fight was okay. Hammer Fight was... oh, that's Hammer Watch. Hammer Fight. Actually, when you started talking about it, I thought you were talking about Hammer Watch, but yeah, Hammer Fight is also a very... it's a very silly game. I was in the very first Humble Bundle, I believe, is where I got that. It was the first or second? I think it was the first. It had some fun. It was kind of bad in a lot of ways, but still fun. Glorious coins get true. I still need to rate coin crypt there. I think 7.5 is probably about right for it. Recommend Baldur's Gate 2 before Pillars. I can see that, Hive. Yes, I've played actually a lot of RuneScape in my time, Rick. I first played RuneScape when it was new, basically. Devin, yes. Wait, were you... where was I having this conversation about RuneScape? I thought, like, I don't think it was on my channel, was it? When I was recently talking a lot about RuneScape? Where was I talking about RuneScape? Someone else's channel on Twitch, but... yeah, I first played RuneScape when it was basically new, when there was actually, like, classes at the time that you chose when you first started, and, I don't really think it was a good use of my time to play much RuneScape, but I found some enjoyment there. Yeah, it's been touched on a few times, probably, Tricky. I was just very specifically talking about it in some detail somewhere else recently. Maybe it was just on stream and I have that bad of a memory. That's quite possible. I can see that happening. But yeah, like, the thing I kind of got into the most in RuneScape was playing the economy and buying low, selling high sort of thing. With coal certs, rather than mining my own coal certs, I would buy coal certs like 5, 10, 20 at a time from other people, and then resell like big groups of them. Like, so for anyone that sounds weird to, the economy works such that it's just way more convenient to buy things in huge bulks. So people were willing to pay more for bulk rather than paying less because you're selling them more. So the economy favored the seller in large quantities. So I'd buy small quantities low and then resell them at a profit in large quantities. Yeah, that was probably just out here, Exodus. Yeah, I just thought I had typed it out. But like my if I could access me and my brother's RuneScape accounts again, we probably actually have thousands of dollars worth of stuff on our accounts that we could sell off. Like, my brother had a blue party hat, he had a full mask set, he had a pumpkin, he had a Easter egg. Between the two of us, we had over 20 Santa hats. Yeah. We got the goods. I don't think we can recover our accounts though. What else did we do that was interesting in RuneScape? Yeah, I remember when the wilderness was kind of first introduced, we were one of the first people that were kind of using a magic-heavy build, because magic didn't affect your level as much. So we'd, like, have, like, a level 13 character that could, like, easily take on level 20s and stuff. Blackfire, if I could figure out how to access it, yeah. I mean, I've already tried, Rick. I don't know what else I could do to get the accounts other than what I've already tried in the past, but I could try again, I guess. Another thing I did with the RuneScape is back when some quest items were still tradable. I was like a super low-level character, and I would like sneak past some dangerous monsters to mine this blurite ore you needed for a special, pretty high-level quest, and just sell it off for like 5,000 a pop. People could complete the quest even if they couldn't mine it, because I snuck past and just mined it myself. Risk of Rain, I don't have the strongest opinion on it right now, because I really haven't replayed it since it's fixed the problems I had with it. I mean, I've just got it kind of sitting at a 7 right now. When I've played Risk of Rain, it was mostly co-op on a worse processor than I have now, and when the code of Risk of Rain was relevantly worse than it is now. So it kind of ran like garbage, and the frame rate dropped horribly, and the gameplay is completely linked to the frame rate. And if you're doing that co-op, it's going to get super desynced with other players and just be kind of a miserable experience in a lot of ways. So I still think it's got some problems. It's definitely got some readability issues with like your character on screen, so it's really hard to kind of tell what's going on with the colors and stuff there. Some of the different items in the game vary a little too wildly in strength and things along those lines. Excuse me. But core gameplay, definitely a lot of fun. I definitely need to revisit Risk of Rain at some point. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure just how much has been fixed, but on both a better processor and their updated code, I expect it to run pretty smoothly and well on my computer now, and be better experience because of that. But yeah, for anyone who, like, what I'm talking about with the frame rate issues, it was really, really bad. Like, if I'm running at like 40 FPS because there's so much garbage on the screen, it's slowing everything down, and someone else I'm playing with is running at like 55 FPS or something because they're still getting some slowdown, but not as bad as me. And they're the one hosting the game or something. It means that I can't dodge stuff. Like, there's no actual way for me to reliably dodge stuff or kill stuff with precision or anything like that. It's just not something that's going to ever happen because things are so desynced. And it also meant that effects got super weird. And maybe like if it got desynced enough, like I would start like things would be going super slow, and the timer on the game wouldn't even be accurate anymore, and like the countdown for when it goes to the next difficulty level and stuff like that, it's like not even accurate, and it's just kind of becomes a complete meltdown mess. Yeah, there you go. It's like, oh, I died, but we already completed everything on your screen. Had so many problems with that, yeah. Enforcers seemed kind of bad, yeah. Akron, I never really had much chance to play, both because I just didn't get him unlocked for a long time, and then because it, like, being such a close range character, having lag issues made it unplayable, whereas the other, like, longer range characters, like your Bandit or I forget if Bandit was the starting one or the other guy, but the Gunslinger, maybe? I don't know. Bandit, Gunslinger, I don't remember exactly what they were called, but those two were kind of simple but worked long range and weren't unplayable with some latency issues. Yeah, exactly, Kitcher, exactly. I wonder if Mirror's Edge should even be higher. Mirror's Edge was cool. It just... It had such stupid gunplay stuff tacked on it that made it relevantly worse. Yeah, there's Papers, Please. We talked about that earlier. It's like a draining experience playing Papers, Please, but it's a cool, clever game. This is something I might play on stream at some point. I haven't actually played a whole lot of this. It's kind of this relatively obscure little indie exploration sort of game. It depends a lot on your computers too, Endeavon. It's not just a networking thing, it's actually more the computer strength than network. So, like, my processor was on the weaker end, so I was playing with friends that were on the stronger end, and since we were playing co-op, like 3 or 4 people, there was like a huge number of enemy spawns, and all of those spawns would slow down my slower processor, and meant my frame rate would tank, and theirs would even drop some, and yeah, wasn't good. You can play it. I've got a tab open for it, Tricky. Yeah, 7.5. We can always change it later, but there you go. Coin Crypt is officially rated. Oh, there's 2 other ratings. They're both lower. There's a 7 and a 5. And other people have rated it. Princess Maker 2. That's a bizarre game. Bizarre, but kind of neat game. I'd consider playing that on stream sometime. It's a very silly thing. Oh, Long Live the Queen, Rick. What do I actually have that out right now? Not rated? Maybe not rated. Let's just open something else up here to, There you go. That's why I don't have over 800 ratings. I just forgotten to rate some stuff. I would probably give this like a 7.5. Like, it's a visual novel and it has a lot of problems, but it's actually got a really pretty interesting story, and I really like the way that it like interconnects in clever ways, like the branching stories depending on your actions being different, and you can kind of see like where you adjust in one area, like they behave a bit differently, but that causes something else to happen instead, and it's always kind of this cavalcade of different things happening in crazy ways, and it was really kind of cool experience overall. Tricky's getting up here with the ratings predictions and stuff. Let's see, comparing Coin Crypt to Sevens. Trying to figure out how biased I am just from how much we actually ended up playing it. Like, did I play it a lot because I liked it a lot, or just because certain specific people who will remain nameless kept encouraging me to play it? Hey there, Gravity Sloth. Yeah, I'm using Board Game Geek and Video Game Geek. My ratings are linked up in chat for you there. Hey there, Alchemin. Quill18, huh? Yeah, exactly, Zaxels. It has some actual decisions and gameplay for being a visual novel, and it's definitely got some problems. It's got a few too many stats, probably, and some of the stats do entirely too little for their existence, and there's some odd things there, but it's really cool, and we will, I think, play through Long Live the Queen at least one more time. Like, the fact that, like, I'm very strongly considering doing a third playthrough and expect the experience and result and story that's told to be different enough to be worth doing and a cool experience definitely speaks to the merit of Long Live the Queen there. And plus, it's just a fun game to voice too. Let's talk about how Space Game should have been harder. Truly, you are the 1%. One of the skills only come up once. That sounds like something that might have happened in Devon. I think all of the skills are technically used at least 2 or 3 times, but some of those uses might be super rare and special case. Indeed, Rick, because I am the Queen! How's it going, Brenda? And like, I remember people insisted I reuse Elodie's voice there, that voice there in Chrono Trigger, so we ended up giving that to Isla. It's like, alright, cave woman, yeah, no, she's gonna sound crazy, childish, and high-pitched. And I mean, I actually really like that line I just did, though, like, because there's like a lot of emotion behind it. Like, she's like, no, I'm taking a stand, like, this is my role, like, I am the queen, you need to listen to me, like, this is, I have the authority, you need to respect that, and it's cool. Resonance, Marinda. No. I don't believe I'm at all familiar with Resonance. I am very trepidatious about point-and-click adventure games. I think the highest one I have rated is like a 7, but 7's still a good experience. So I'm not like ruling out point-and-click adventure games entirely. But I'm timid to the prospect. We've got ourselves Monkey Island here at a 6.5, and we've got Machinarium at a 7. I think those are my highest rated point-and-click adventure games. That's right, David, yep. Yep. Space Chem is really brutally hard, and the difficulty just keeps ramping up constantly in a sheer line upwards of dauntingness. But it's really cool. It's got good music, and even if you don't finish it, it's gonna be cheap enough when you buy it. Even at full price, even if you just play a couple hours of it, it'll probably be well worth it. It's a cool game. Tricky, what about the expansion content? Have you played that? I thought that was harder for Space Sim. Battle Chasers Night War. That just sounds like you came up with like 4 random words and stuck them together and called it a game, Rick. Alright, we got random words. Should we call it Night Battle Chasers War? No. We're gonna call it Battle Chasers : Night War. But, no, I don't know anything about that one, Rick. Don't know anything about that one. Yeah, the right way to play Space Chem is accepting that it's okay you can't finish it. I think that's a good way to approach pretty much any game, but definitely true of Space Chem, and it's even if you don't expect to be able to finish it, it can still be well worth playing. Oh, Space Chem is absolutely programming. It is a game of programming. Alright, fair, Miranda. Is Resonance free on Steam, etc., etc.? It's not I'm familiar with Nuclear Throne. I've even played a little bit of it on stream. It was kind of rough in a few ways, and I'm still not really sure what I think of Nuclear Throne, but we will probably play more Nuclear Throne on stream at some point. Catch you later, Devin. I figure at this point I'll actually wait until it's done, and before you say it's fully released, it's not actually fully released on PC yet. It is on unless that changed in the past week. But they finished it up for consoles or whatever other platforms first, and they called it fully released and out of early access, but that's not actually really true on PC, is my understanding. So I figure I might as well wait a little bit longer. Waited this long before we've played more of it. So might as well wait a little longer before we revisit Nuclear Throne. Yep, Zaxels, there is. And there's the precursor to Space Chem is also a very programming-focused game, the Codex of Alchemical Engineering. And that's a cool free Flash game as well. Have I ever played The Incredible Machine 2? I don't know about 2 specifically, Music Dan, but I've definitely played several of the Incredible Machine games back in the day. Battle Chasers Night War. Battle Backer Digital Edition, Special Night War Digital Edition, Deluxe Night War Digital Edition, Supreme Okay, I'm not very interested in this game. You can also buy the Ultimate Collector's Edition, or the Now That's Teamwork Edition, the New History Edition, the Personal Edition, the Complete Night War Digital Edition, or the Supreme Night War Digital Edition. I think that's all of them. No. No. I don't think I've ever liked a game with a pricing setup like that. I guess the closest thing would maybe be something like Hearthstone, but That scares me. That scares me a lot. That is entirely too many tears. Entirely too many tears. My Watch It games. They go with a Watch It spelling. That's what I prefer. I don't like Udjet as much. I like Watch It. So even though they spelled it Udjet in Spelunky, I still pronounced it Watch It. Castle of Dr. Brain, huh? Supreme Baby Money Police Edition. Yeah, I have no idea if it's any good or anything from that, but that's always intimidating to me. Duty calls. You got a face at the end. I don't. I feel like there's a joke there I'm missing, but no, I don't think I've played that. When you're talking about puzzle games enjoyed as a kid, that just makes me think of Dr. Quandary. Like, was that? It's like Secret Island of Dr. Quandary or something? I think that's what it's called. It's interesting when I see some stuff like this on like game pages and descriptions, like Residence, over 10 hours of gameplay. That's supposed to be a positive selling point. I'm like, oh man, that sounds a little long for that type of game. Like, do I really want to play it if it's gonna be that long? Like, it's like an anti-point for me. That makes me more afraid to play it. Are you asking if I played Call of Duty, Rick? I think I've played the original Call of Duty. Or maybe like the first sub-version of it, I think. I don't know. Long time ago. Don't remember it well. Very mediocre, not terrible, not good experience. I have Vermeer, yeah. There's definitely a lot of those to go around. Let's see what we got here. Certainly got my share of stuff along those lines. I mean, Rayman Origins, for example, we're finally getting around to playing. But let's see what we got. I might revisit 1001 Spikes sometime. It's a good game. Might even try to like speedrun some levels or something. But it's cool. We did get to play that. Antichamber's great. I don't even remember what Anna is. I think that's only listed there because maybe I ran it for cards or something. I don't know, but I don't remember what that is. And no idea. Antichamber's fantastic. Recommend highly. Audiosurf I haven't played yet. Bastion's great. Probably don't really need to go back to this game. It was originally called Sequence, but they had to rename it due to some stupid issue long after the game was relevant. But kind of a RPG rhythm game. It's kind of cool. It's got some neat stuff going on, but it's also not amazing. I don't know. We played a decent amount of it, enjoyed it a bit. Don't think I'll probably revisit it. Bit Trip 2, I think I will revisit. I should revisit that sometime. Only played a little bit of Bit Trip 2. Duty Calls is a Call of Duty parody. Gotcha. Bleed's actually really cool, and I might play that again. Really nice little gunning platformer game. Blood of the Werewolf, that was only because of cards, is maybe worth playing. Braid, we talked about that. I will probably just replay at some point, see if my opinion of that improves. I actually have played that half an hour of this. That was okay. Probably not a whole lot of reason to revisit that. I haven't played Capsized. Might play a little more Cloudberry Kingdom. Randomly generated platformer is kind of cool, but it isn't really comparable to actually like good level design platformer realistically, or something like Spelunky where more controlled randomly generated platforming. Cloudbelt looked pretty cool. Maybe I should prioritize Cloudbelt soon. I definitely remember that looking pretty neat. Haven't played that yet. Cogs, that was like old school, man. Like, I didn't have very many Steam games then. That was like puzzle bundle for $5 or something, that, and stuff like that. There were all sorts of specific little bundles like that they had back in the day. Man, I really wish Cook Serve Delicious was a little less drawn out and tedious, but it's cool. We still might even touch back on it someday. I don't know. I don't know that we will. We've gotten a lot of play out of it though. Can't really complain about that. Never finished Dark Souls 2 DLC. I don't know that I will. Like, when we started playing the DLC, went back to Dark Souls and that, I just wasn't enjoying it at all. At all. So it kind of disincentivizes me from going back and trying more of it, but I don't know, maybe. Darwinia I haven't played, Defy Gravity I haven't played, Desktop Dungeons we played a lot of, another little puzzle game of whatever. Yeah, this is like the old, man, like, makes me think Windows 3.1 puzzle game. I don't remember the name of it, but... Vermeer, we did Rayman Origins earlier today. Marinda, I have no opinion on Hearthstone single-player content. I haven't really played through much of any of it. I haven't played through the old single-player content. I don't want to spend my time on that, basically. I don't enjoy the adventures much, so I haven't bothered. I don't even really know the new Hearthstone cards much. Soulja Boy video about Braid? No, I haven't ate it. I don't know. You're scaring me, but you can link it up and I can put it in a tab and I'll watch it later, I guess. But you're scaring me. You're scaring me a little bit. Yeah, Coleslaw. Are you talking about Spelunky, or are you talking about something else for Derek Yu? And Marinda, I mean, we do the supporter polls every couple months or so, where I'll pick out things that seem interesting and worth playing, and have people vote on stuff they're interested in seeing. We could do a little more broad focus, I suppose, with that sort of stuff. I don't know that I really need to play more Dungeon of the Endless. It's too endless. Like, if they make a version that's half as long, I would probably play a lot of it. If it was 7 floors instead of 12 floors, like, just doing that and balancing around that would just straight up make this a better game, like, significantly, in my opinion. Yeah, that is not a very highly rated YouTube video. Also fried and sweet, but it's short. I'll watch it later. A half endless dungeon is still endless. It's not though. But yeah, it shouldn't take over 10 hours to do a run of a game with this depth and mechanics and stuff. It's cool. It's I really like the power mechanic. I think it's pretty clever, and a lot of the gameplay is interesting and leads you to do some interesting decisions in it. But it is so drawn out. It is really hard to get enthusiasm to play any more of that. There we go. There's another one I haven't played. I haven't played any Dust and Elysian Tale. Um, I would probably think it's okay. It's hard to get a lot of enthusiasm to play it, but I don't think I would dislike it. I think that would be well worth playing. I could try more Dustforce sometime. I forget who it was that lamented my Dustforce rating being a 6.5 like 2 hours ago or something, but it just didn't really jive with me, but it seems like a perfectly reasonable game, and I should maybe try some more at some point. Dynamite Jack sounded kind of interesting, but I don't remember much about it. I don't even know what Enemy Mind is. Everyday Shooter is kind of just a everyday shooter, so who needs to play more of that? I might revisit New Vegas sometime if I want to play a Fallout-esque game or something, see if I get more enjoyment from something like that. I didn't hate my experience with this. I kind of liked it, so I might try that. I might go back to Fez sometime. I don't know. I definitely didn't get all the cues in that by any means, but I was pretty happy with the amount of time I put into Fez. I beat the normal ending plus a few extra cubes or whatever. Flying sounded interesting. Haven't played that at all. Fractal kind of sucked. I don't think I need to play any more of that. I've still got it installed. Apparently thought it was maybe worth checking out again enough that I left it installed, so I don't know that. I'm probably going to revisit Freedom Planet sometime. Maybe do a Carol playthrough. Blackfire, back to the game? No, screw games. We don't play games here. And I have no idea what you're talking about, Coleslaw, with the game Derek U. Did Derek U make a game named Derek U? Question mark? FTL is broken and sinking, so hopefully that doesn't cause a problem, but I don't think I really need to play the Gianna Sisters sequel, but maybe? I haven't. Greed Corp, probably don't need to play that. Gunpoint I should play. I haven't played that at all. I do want to play more Half Minute Hero. I've played a lot, but I would play more. I really like Half Minute Hero. I want to do that on stream sometime, and I've also got the sequel Half Minute Hero 2 that I haven't played at all yet, and that should be fun. Nice, Rick. Nice. I definitely want to get like my voice playthroughs of stuff like Long Live the Queen all up on YouTube, but I don't really want to just export my Twitch highlights directly there. It's kind of not very good for YouTube. I'd much rather break them into like episodes, like half an hour, hour-long things where a lot of the fluff is taken out, and just a much better experience, but haven't really had the time to do that. Incidentally, if anyone knows a convenient way to handle a like 10-hour MP4 video file and make that usable, that would be cool. Because I figured out a reasonable way to download, for example, my entire like Undertale VODs and stuff from Twitch, but the files are too big for me to work with in the video editing program I'm trying to use, Lightworks. It just won't load the massive 10-hour long video. Oh, interesting, Hive. The double jump ledge difference there. I could definitely see that. Yeah, that is the sort of stuff that would definitely frustrate me. I don't remember exact complaints about Dustforce, but that is like the kind of like oddly specific but important feeling in a game that can just lead it to feel really bad. I had some of that even in Ori and the Blind Forest, which I still really enjoyed, but like it just felt like the controls didn't work sometimes, and it was frustrating. Tricky. It was actually a slumber party, yes. But man, that is definitely not the best part of Freedom Planet. I don't care how much you enjoyed the surprise slumber party, but Nothing to do with the story or writing of that game is the best part of Freedom Planet. Hey there, Lozel. Not doing FTL right now, just chatting about games at this this juncture. Convert to MP3, yeah, clearly, Blackfire. Yeah, you can do some of that stuff within YouTube, Rick, but not really to any degree that would be good. Can we discuss while I play Bad Rats? No, we cannot. Heavy Bullets I actually picked up specifically for streaming. I think that'll be a neat little roguelike-y experience to do on stream sometime. In Momentum we actually touched on earlier where I played a little bit of it and it didn't seem to work right, but then I heard that it's good again, so it came back to the forefront again, and I should probably try it again sometime. Oh, that's unfortunate, Hyphenated. Yeah, like, they usually felt like they worked for me. It just, like, the timing on the bash ability didn't seem to work sometimes for no apparent reason. Like, 10% of the time, bash just didn't work right. And, I couldn't figure out any consistent, like, logic or reason why. So that was really frustrating, especially with some of the really, harder late-game sections of the game, but... overall, it's got a lot of emotion, it's beautiful, it's got great music, and I definitely enjoyed Ori a lot overall, but yeah, the main thing with, Freedom Planet is that it's a Sonic game where going fast isn't punishing. Because if you just try to go fast in a Sonic game, you're going to fall off a cliff and die, like all the time. Unless you know the levels well, you're just going to get yourself killed if you're trying to go fast because it's fun to go fast. Yeah, I saw a little bit about that, Rick. That man was getting upset about a new edition or version of Ori and the Blind Forest coming out. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion, to be honest. I'm not a fan of the kind of tendency of a lot of games to kind of do that, where they make new versions. Scholar of the First Sin for Dark Souls and stuff. Probably the worst offender, honestly, that I've seen is Guacamelee. Like, they've got their normal version of Guacamelee, and they came out with a new version that they're charging still full price for, and I guess they gave a slight discount to people who own the old version, but rather than fixing their game, they just put out a different edition of their game. Like, the different edition... And it's really sad, too, because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the different edition fixes, like, most of the problems I would have had. I haven't played the original, but, like, problems I would have, like, majorly had with the original. Like, new editions, like... Hey, we fix these things with controls and stuff that are, like, things that specifically Twinge would have huge problems with. Oh, but if you want to play it, you're going to have to buy it again. Just buy our game again. We're not going to patch the old game. No, that would be silly. You just need to buy our game again. And that's just bullshit. Does it work with MP4s, any? Kingdom Hearts, yeah. I've only played the original Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played or followed the other games. There's definitely a lot of other offenders, but 2.9 Kingdom Hearts. What? Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. I played just a little bit of that, and it seemed kind of cool. And one thing I specifically know about this game is that they spend a lot of effort making the camera controls in this game good. Like, they put out a good video, like, game design video about the camera controls in Shadow Planet, and I appreciated that a lot. I do want to go back and play that game sometime. Visible Ink will at least try to finish our one campaign at some point. Jamestown's awesome. We'll probably play more of that on stream sometime. Show Danger 2 I haven't played. Might be fun. I don't know. Just Cause 2, I played a little bit of multiplayer, and it was okay. Little Inferno, I don't know anything about. I'm gonna play more along with the Queen. Luftrausers looks pretty fun, and I haven't played that yet, so that would be a cool one. Ligaro HD, man, that's another thing that was in the very first Humble Bundle, and I still have never played it. Never played that. Alright, Zimmy. Worth a check out, huh? Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting spot, Music Dan. Like, it's... I don't know, like, I guess I really want games to just be completed products for the most part. Like, that's where I want it to be. I want something that, like, they actually spent the time in advance playtesting and making sure they had a good finished product before putting it out on the market. So, something like Spelunky or Undertale. And Spelunky had a few small issues, and they addressed those down the road with some relatively minor patches that added some good little features to it and stuff, but I don't really like it when there's games like I was about to say Long Live the Queen, like One Way Heroics, that they have a cool concept for a game and they put it out, but they kind of don't polish it, and a lot of the stuff is implemented half-assed, and then they're like, oh wait, we're gonna now add this expansion for the game that fixes those problems that you had with it. That always just kind of rubs me the wrong way, where it's like, well, you could have spent the time playtesting and making a fully finished game to begin with, instead of kind of half-assing it and then coming back and finishing it later. I think the expansion for this actually cost more than the game itself. It's $650, and that's what, like $350. Yeah, it's $350. That's definitely an odd price point and marketing strategy that their expansion costs twice as much as the main game. But like, it's definitely makes me very hesitant to be interested in it when they do that. I mean, it's kind of hard to complain too much. Like, the base game, I probably got it for like half or a third of this price, and this price is already super low. Like, $350 is a great price for the enjoyment I got out of the game, and people do deserve to be paid for their time, but I just get super frustrated when they half-ass stuff like that. So it's in an odd spot, and there's valid arguments kind of on both sides in a lot of ways. Jamestown is best played with friends. So yeah, the coolest thing about Jamestown is that it adjusts well to the number of players. Like, so it's a shoot 'em up game, top-down shooter game. But if you're playing with 1, 2, 3, or 4 players, the enemy patterns and everything adjusts specifically for that number of players that you're playing with, and that's awesome. It really like makes the experience a ton better, and like, if you end up like playing through some levels with like 2 or players, then you have a third person come in, you're gonna have an actual kind of different experience that caters to that number of players, and that's really, really cool. I love that about it a lot. Unfortunately, the co-op in Jamestown is local only, but... There you go, that's true too, Brenda. You got expansions that fix the problem, hopefully with One Way Heroics, versus expansions and re-releases that don't fix the problems, like Binding of Isaac. That's true. I don't know, like, it hurts me, like, inside, like, when they're, like, okay, here's an expansion that fixes the problems that shouldn't have existed originally, but you also didn't pay that much for the original product, so, like, you really shouldn't feel that bad about it, but I'd rather pay more for a good original product than not, but that isn't always realistic for a lot of reasons, so it's something I probably feel more strongly about than I should, realistically. Oh, really, Music Dad? That sucks. Yeah, it's always really unfortunate if end up getting patches that break the game worse and then you're stuck with it. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I've played Stronghold Crusader, and Stronghold 2, Rick. How readable is this on screen, by the way? I jumped up the, oh, there's a Stronghold 3 also. Huh. There's a Stronghold Crusader 2, of course. Why wouldn't there be? Alright. Man, was the original Stronghold that much worse? Like, cause I had that even lower before tonight. I had that like at a 4. Yeah, I guess I had felt that the other ones improved on it a lot, but still had some of the same issues. I guess we'll probably have to leave the ratings where they are. I don't remember it well enough to change those ratings further, but like it's fun. It's got kind of some fun economy and build up and mechanics, but it's clunky. Unit management sucks, and just definitely has some problems. Jamestown's shoot 'em up, top down shoot 'em up, Marina. Yep. Readable very well. Cool. So figured this font size would be a good size to make it readable without with still having a lot of stuff on the screen. I don't think there's any way for me to make Steam bigger, so that one's gonna be less readable, unfortunately. But so yeah, I mean, like stuff like this, like if the expansion does legitimately fix my problems with the game, it's probably worth buying, and it's not unreasonable on their end in some ways. But it's deep inside that like I want you to put out a finished product, and or if your product's not quite finished, then fix that product instead of putting out something else to fix it. Like I like the expansion to add content rather than to fix core problems with a game, I guess, is kind of my thoughts on that. Like, if there's core problems with a game that you are instead being like, well, we'll put out an expansion. No, fix the core problems and then also put out the expansion with a cool bonus content, but fix your crap first, please. Although, you can do like Marinda pointed out, like Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, put out an expansion that also doesn't fix the problem, so leave the problems and also put it out an expansion that still doesn't fix the problem, so yeah, got a lot of different ways people can end up going about it, I guess. But, oh yeah, Rick, I can see that. It starts lagging really bad. Wow. Let's see, what else on my unplayed here? Askira Lost Light looked like kind of a cool little platformer. I apparently own Papa and Yo. Yeah, I don't think I actually need to ever play Papa and Yo. I don't know. It's borderline, maybe. I don't really remember very much what PID is, but I think it looked decent and playable. I think I actually did play this for 15 minutes and wasn't very enthusiastic about it, but maybe I'd try that some more. Probability Zero looked kind of cool, I think, maybe? Puzzle Dimension, I don't know what the hell that is. Apparently I've actually played a little bit of it. Oh, is that like a 3D block pushing puzzle game sort of thing? Maybe I know what that is. And that was okay, if that's what I'm thinking it is. Called Conundrum I haven't played. Race the Sun? I could play a little more Race the Sun sometimes. It's okay. Nothing great, but it's okay. I don't remember... I haven't played Really Big Sky at all. I haven't played that. The achievements are all like gradients. Don't know what... well, I kind of maybe know what Receiver is. Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember anything about it. I haven't played that. Played a little Revenge of the Titans. Probably don't really need to play more of that. Yeah, I don't think we need to play more of that. Let's slide that down to our almost junk folder. That's where we put stuff that we probably will never play, but it's not just utter trash like the junk folder is. Yeah, see, then you got the opposite. There you go. That's another crazy counterexample. FTL Advanced Edition. That's a case where I'm basically upset that they didn't charge us money for the expansion. Like, when that first came out and I played it, it's like, this is actually really good and well done. Like, wait, why the hell didn't they charge us for this expansion? They should have charged us for this. Just charge like $2 for it. I don't care. You would have made like $1 million like in a month easily if they charged $2 for the FTL Advanced Edition expansion, but they made plenty on it by themselves, and they wanted to kind of put it together with the mobile release, so they kind of just decided to do it for free. It's like, okay, I'm upset at the fact you're not getting money from this because you did good work. Hey there, Goran. Modders can fix some problems in some games, but we'll see if Isaac gets reasonable modding. That I don't know. If it gets reasonable enough modding, I might try to fix it, but I don't know. I don't know. Don't know anything about Besiege, Goran. Upper tier 2 puzzle game for Conundrum, huh? Get back to modded Minecraft. Haven't really done much modding with Minecraft as much as I've enjoyed what I've played of the game. If I do play Minecraft again at some point, it'd probably be still just with a small group of friends, and we'd probably try modding in some like, I don't know, techniques or any number of interesting things there. Few people aren't fans of Minecraft. I was surprised at just how much I enjoyed Minecraft too. I guess there's certain aspects of games that I often don't really find myself caring about or enjoying too much. Like immersive experiences and stuff is a good example. Like I don't really find myself immersed in games very much. So games that kind of rely on that to be good experiences don't really work out very well for me. And a lot of times exploration is not something I care too much about. But exploration in Minecraft was just a joy for me. Like, finding new areas and their cool generations and how they were different than other stuff we found, and like see this just really cool looking rock structure and this sprawling cavern underground, and figure out where it goes under our house and things like that. Just was just a joy. Really addictive. So I never got like super into Minecraft, did a bunch of modding, or played a huge amount or anything, but really enjoyed what I played of it. How many of these have we played on stream? That's an interesting question. Let's see. So we played Cave Story on stream. We will be playing Final Fantasy VI on stream soon. Haven't played Portal. Obviously played Undertale. We played Spelunky. Haven't played the original, but that's fine. We played VVV. We've actually played League of Legends on stream once. We played Minecraft on stream once, technically. Haven't played these. We played Altitude not actually on stream, but we played it with stream viewers because the stream went down and Twitch was broken. So that happened. Technically played Meat Boy on stream before anybody ever watched me. We played Terraria on stream. We played Jamestown on stream, I think. Obviously Necrodancer, Shovel Knight. We played Scarlet Weather Rhapsody on stream. I think I've played Tetris Attack on stream once. Played Stone Soup. We played Sout. FTL. Played Superjoy. Played Keep Talking. It's gonna probably scale off quite a bit from here. Yeah, Desktop Dungeons we played, Psychonauts, Dark Souls, Stanley Parable, Hearthstone, Tez the Dread, Ori, Titan Souls. We played a lot of the top-rated stuff on stream, huh? VVV I rate really highly, Rick, got it up here. More than... Well, that's true, Hyphenated, that's true. Every time I mention that, it's happened. You mentioned that last time I talked about it. I just, like, forget about that. Interestingly, I remembered it when I was talking about... what else I was just talking about that I had technically played? Yeah, Super Meat Boy. I remembered it for Super Meat Boy, because that was the only time I played it, was way back during some races. But yeah, the Minecraft races, man, back in the day. Back in the day. Oh yeah, those can be fun too, Hyphenated. I did one of those once, although probably not as good as what you're talking about. Yeah, the ones I played, we did them at the same time, but they weren't really cooperative puzzles. They were single-player stuff that we could just do at the same time, and maybe try to do faster than the other person or whatever. But yeah, some of that stuff might be worth revisiting, certainly. Hey there, NVUK. Yeah, like it's definitely a cool experience at first, and to be clear, like Minecraft has some major problems that are annoying to me. Like I hate the system of well, if you want to know how to actually do anything, you're gonna have to look it up somewhere else outside of the game, because we're not actually gonna explain how to craft any of this shit. I don't like that as a thing in games at all. In cases like Minecraft, it's not a big enough negative to severely hamper the gameplay, but I hate that in Minecraft. I hate it in Don't Starve. I hate it even more in Sword of the Stars of the Pit, because it's done especially bad there. But Terraria has actually done it a lot better. Like when it first came out, it was more like Minecraft, but they've added a lot of stuff to make it where you can actually look up the recipes in game in a pretty reasonable manner. So it's still convenient to look stuff up externally, but the information's available in-game if you want it, and that's great. I like that a lot. Envy, yeah, we were talking about Dungeon of the Endless earlier. It's, no. Not the way I play it anyway. Dungeon of the Endless runs over probably 12 hours, I'd expect, something like that. Nah, maybe 10 hours. FTL runs more like half of that, 5 hours. It's always weird talking about time with stuff like this. I mean, I play relatively slower than most people with games like those, but it's also going to be a lot slower when I'm streaming it, so it's hard to get accurate like time references for games. Like, how long does this game take to play? Well, If I'm streaming it, I gotta add like 30% to that and assume that other people are gonna undercut how much time because they think lower is better. So they're, and yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah. So Dungeon of the Endless, like, that's my big problem with it. It's just way too long and drawn out. Like this was what did we like get completed gameplay wise with this 29 hours? We got one completed run and like 3 uncompleted runs, I think. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Might be something like that. But like I hate how long and drawn out Dungeon of the Endless is. Like it's you go through 12 floors and things don't change relevantly or interesting enough to justify going through 12 floors. You could have the same exact amount of depth and interesting gameplay if you went through 7 floors in Dungeon of the Endless, and if things were balanced and designed around that, I would straight up say it's going to be a better game that way. Not familiar with Albion Online Grim Ski, and welcome, by the way. And, like, to be clear, I still enjoyed a lot of what Dungeon of the Endless had there. I think it's, like, power mechanics really cool and good design and a thing I like a lot about it, but... Yeah, no. That's, like... I don't even know if I would do that if someone wanted to pick that as their Patreon backer game, playing La Mulana Remake Blackfire. I don't know. I guess I would. If someone wanted me to play it enough that they would donate to the stream on Patreon and buy me the game, then I would at least try it. I would definitely not say that I was for sure going to finish it or anything like that, but... So yeah, Sword of the Stars of the Pit has a lot of the same problems I've got with Dreadmore, Vermeer. I guess you weren't there when we were talking about it earlier, but it's got actually the worst crafting system / inventory kind of in games. Worst crafting system in any game. You know, Sword of the Stars of the Pit. And feels a little luck heavy, definitely too drawn out for my tastes, and yeah, just definitely has some problems. Didn't really inspire me to play more of it at all. And that's winning a run too. We won a run. Armelio. Board game style game on Steam, huh? Not familiar with that one, no. Let's see, should we finish going through our unplayeds and then maybe look that up? I guess. We're kind of just chatting about whatever strikes us as interesting as we go, and that's fine. Let's see. I think I actually did play half an hour of Syra, and I think it was actually kind of decent. That might be worth revisiting. Shatter's a pretty good little breakout game. Arkanoid, etc., whatever your pick is for game you recognize with that. But it's not bad. I need to look at adding some of the Shatter music to the playlist, possibly. It's got some good music. Let's see, Civ 5, we've already talked about. Got a decent chunk of time on it, but that's just not that much time for Civ 5. Sine Mora is actually pretty cool. I think I might do a playthrough of that on stream before, or at some point. That's a neat little shoot 'em up game. I've played Stars, but I don't think that has anything to do with Sword of the Stars. Squeaga. Stars is a 4X game that's old. How old is Stars, man? Is that like 95 or older or something? I don't know. It's got like play by email play, and I played a little bit of that, and got like kind of interested in the IRC community around that game despite not really playing that game much, which I think I found indirectly through Adom, maybe? And I think some of them are actually, well, no, maybe they were the ones that convinced me to play it. I don't remember. Got a long network of crazy connections in my past, as much as anyone else does, I suppose, but... Slip. Yeah, we played that some on stream. That's a platformer where you kind of phase between colors. I don't know if I need to play more of that. I didn't especially enjoy it, but we can also try playing again and just dropping the difficulty down to like normal rather than high, and see if it's less frustrating to play. That might just like help make it a lot more enjoyable. I don't know. It looks sad. Like, you feel like you put a huge amount of effort. It's like 3 out of 20 achievements. You suck. But yeah, Space Skim's a cool game. I don't think I'll play more Space Skim. I don't know. I don't know if I'll play more Space Skim, but it's a cool game. Don't think I'll play more Starseed Pilgrim. I don't think we really got any need to play more of that, but it's kind of interesting. Played a bit of that on stream, and it's what it is, I guess. It's weird it's hard to describe, and it's weird, and I don't think it's actually particularly great, but it's kind of cool. It's got I think it was Tricky that was playing it, and he was very frustrated with the randomness in a puzzle game, and I could definitely see that, and was frustrated with that a bit myself. You haven't played those yet. That probably didn't exist when I played it at Vermeer, or it wasn't nearly enough. I don't remember what. I think it didn't exist, Vermeer. But I know, like, for example, Dreadmore has its No Time to Grind mode, but No Time to Grind mode is super slow and still super drawn out. Like, it makes me think, like, wait, did I enable No Time to Grind mode? Yeah, I did. The supposedly regular game is just so extremely huge and drawn out that it is a nightmare that I would never want to touch. But yeah, I don't know about that, Vermeer. Yeah, there you go, Tricky. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's neat to complete a level and and then kind of build out to try other levels and stuff like that. And there's like some vague story thing going on that's probably kind of self-important and not actually very good story-wise, but I don't know, it might be interesting. I didn't find enough of it to really piece enough together to know if it's worthwhile, but yeah, it's a weird little game. I need to play more Stealth Bastards sometime. That was kind of I played the original, not the deluxe. I haven't actually played this one at all, but it seemed like a pretty neat little stealth game, and you could like try to go fast in it pretty reasonably too. Storm in the Teacup seemed like a very average little platformer with a mildly unique mechanic, but it was like 50 cents, so I picked it up at one point, and I still might play that sometime. Super Crate Box, I haven't played through Steam, but I played a moderate amount otherwise. I'll play that on stream sometime, I imagine. Super Hexagon, I could play more or not. It's good, but not enough I've ever really wanted to get super into it. Super Acid Dead Ninjas, we talked about a bit. We played even a decent chunk of that. It's just hard to want to play it when we can play other games that offer similar experiences. Super Puzzle Platformer, I want to play. That looked kind of cool. So I'm interested in that. Don't know much about Super Brothers. Don't remember much about Tech, but it looked kind of cool. Teleglitch, I didn't like that much, but it's probably worth trying again at least one more time. See if we like it better. Beyblade Pixels was actually pretty good, but not great. I can see playing more of that sometime, maybe. Trails Evolution I like quite a bit, but they're stupid, like, the way they had their servers set up and they were broken all the bloody time made it frustrating, because, like, what I wanted to do and what I had fun with it doing the most was just, like, with some other friends I know, playing online and comparing our times and trying to beat each other on our times on courses and stuff with this kind of a local group of friends, and that's a fun way to experience it. That's kind of what I did with Super Meat Boy a lot, too, actually. But, yeah, I don't know how much more of that I would play. Maybe. Like, it's fun. I like it a lot. It's a good game. I don't know. Weird spot. I don't know if I'll ever play Tropico 4. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I'll go back to Valkyria Chronicles to do the bonus stuff, but that's a good game. That's another game that is a good one to point out as a game that could definitely be way better than it is, but is still a good game. That would be closer to the length of game I'd look for in the Pit Vermeer, but that doesn't change the fact that it's got really awful crafting system that I hate. I hate that crafting system so much that they made a mechanic of discovering the stuff the game should just tell you about. Like, slow, drawn-out mechanic that you actually have a character stat devoted to for just learning how to make the stuff that you should just know how to make if you want to actually play the bloody game to begin with. Like Dwarf Fortress going, I could play Dwarf Fortress on stream sometime. I wouldn't rule it out. I've played some Dwarf Fortress and reasonably enjoyed what I played of it. It's obviously not a completely garbage UI and plenty of other awkwardness to it, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Nice, Ritzel. Nice. Is it hyphenated? I don't know. All I have as a mental image of Super Brothers is like something that's at least not terrible. Like, it's like, okay, that's kind of it's considered a decent but not great game. That's what, I don't even know if that's true, but like that's what my image of it is. Vessel I haven't played, don't know much about. Walk in the Dark's great. I might play that through again sometime. Warlock, I guess, was free sometime, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what that is. So much of these times are just blatant lies because they were open to get the cards. I haven't played that. Don't know what it is. Don't know if it's any good. This is okay. I don't know that I need to play more Weird Worlds, but it's kind of like a super quick little make a couple decisions and travel around the galaxy and see how they work out sort of thing. It's okay. I've played about half an hour of Wizorb. It's another kind of a block breaker game. Seemed very whatever. Like, it seemed fine, but nothing special. I don't know if I need to play more of that. Don't know if I want to revisit World of Goo like I do want to revisit Braid. I did not enjoy World of Goo very much either. Probably don't need to revisit World of Goo. I don't know. Yeah. I've played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It was okay. I wasn't super enthusiastic about Brothers. Let's see, this is going to be on the next page. Oh, I don't have a comment for it. That's too bad. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is why I like having like comments. If I write a comment about a game, it really helps me kind of cement and remember what my impressions of a game were and what I actually think about it. I'm having a hard time like coming up with exactly why I didn't really like Brothers. Yeah, I'm just kind of blanking on giving an actual reason for that, I'm afraid. So I don't know that I can go into too much detail. Obviously, I didn't like hate it. 5.5 is about average, but like I didn't really feel. Yeah, Two Brothers is different. Um, yeah, the two like Hyphenated was talking about Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, but yeah, I think Two Brothers is a different game that has a good-ish story, maybe, but like terrible controls or something in gameplay. It's like kind of broken, if I'm remembering the right thing. If you wanted to mention it, Ivan, you could whisper it, but man, I wish I could like. It was just like ended up being such an average experience. I don't have like much memory of what the specifics were. Like I can remember the vague game and playing it and some of the things that happened, but um, I'd say it just didn't really hit me much. Like it didn't. I didn't really find it emotionally impactful. Um, Gameplay was often kind of. I mean, it's weird because it's like almost meant to be frustrating in some ways, but that doesn't change the fact that it was still frustrating and a little tedious or wonky in other parts. Some interesting stuff done with it here and there. Yeah, I mean, I can see some people enjoying that experience, Vermeer. And in the right context, in the right game, I could potentially enjoy that more as well. But especially in like a roguelike game, I want a roguelike to have consistency, and I want it like that's part of what makes it a roguelike in a lot of ways. It's got consistency. You've got your set of rules and your set of options available, and that's what you can do. And it's up to you to make the best of the situations that you're given, the complex situations that are going to be different every time. And if you're just sitting there gimped because you don't have the recipes unlocked yet, that's just frustrating. I'm not playing the full game. I'm going to have strictly less chance to win and successfully complete the game because the game is deciding to gimp me, and I don't enjoy that at all. Games can still be enjoyable even when they do that, even if you don't like it. Also, like League of Legends is an example there, where to get to the full, depending exactly where you define full, but let's just say level 30, where you can use your full set of masteries and ruins and stuff in League of Legends. You've got to play the game for like 200 hours before you get to that point. And that's ridiculous, utterly ridiculous, to get to the point where you're playing the same game other people are actually playing. That's stupid. But the path to get there is still a fun, enjoyable game enough that you can kind of let it slide for the most part. But it's I don't like that crap at all. Analog, I hate Story of Blackfire. I feel like I gave away a copy of that at one point, and it might actually be worth playing since I've enjoyed some other visual novels and voice acting and stuff enough to be potentially worth it. But yeah, I don't know enough about that to say. That's pretty cool, hyphenated, yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah, there's the Minecraft music right there. It's a sign. Is this a sign we should play 1001 Spikes? Unfortunately, every song that's played in the playlist can't be a sign. It doesn't quite work out that way. Played a lot of games. There's the other Descent. I liked it a lot of the time. It's kind of a weird one to rate in a lot of ways. But yeah, basically, Vermeer, if it was something that was kind of more ingrained in the gameplay, where it was kind of an interesting expansion of it as you kind of progressed through a world and you built on your options as it went and stuff like that. I think that can work a lot better. I just don't think it really fits a roguelike setting at all, myself. It sounds both interesting and very, very uninteresting and unappealing, rather, I guess. Sounds interesting and also very unappealing, I think. That's how I'd say. Like, I really like alchemical themes and stuff in general. That's some, like, as far as theming and stuff goes, that's something I'm a big fan of. But I'm also incredibly daunted by the phrase text adventure. Incredibly daunted. I see, Ritzel. I see. Eurocore is something else that I might be worth trying again sometime. I don't know. By that same guy that did EG, which I liked quite a bit. And I've got years of extra experience in gaming and stuff since this one, so it might feel less frustrating. Hey there, McWill. Curious, hyphenated. I mean, I think I played Brothers with a controller. Like, it doesn't really work otherwise. Like, it's very much designed to be played by the controller. Way, way more so than, like, say, Super Meat Boy, which claims it's designed to only be played with a controller, but that's BS, and it plays great on a keyboard. If you freaking manually edit the config file to set the keys to something workable, rabble, because they're too stubborn to actually put customizable controls in the game. There's a lot of stuff that makes me, like, annoyed with games I really like. That has been a kind of recurring theme tonight, right? Valley Without Wind 2. It should have been a better game. It's still kind of cool. Oh. Oh man, default keyboard controls, Axel. What were the defaults again? Like shift and space? Screw that noise. I'm just gonna destroy my hand. They're talking about Super Meat Boy there, Vermeer. But yeah, how it actually ended up working for me is when I first was playing something like Super Meat Boy, I was pirating games regularly at that point in my life. So the pirated version of that I got actually had rebound the keyboard controls to like S and D or something, which worked really well and was perfectly playable. And then like later I found out when I'd like recommend controller to, or keyboard rather, to the game other people, that the default controls are like shift and spacebar that just kind of destroy your hand and I'm just like even like trying to like hold my hand how I would even do that. Oh god, no, that hurts. My hand doesn't even want to like hold it like next to those keys very much. It kind of works, but yeah. You can get used to it, of course. You can get used to it, but yeah. Oh, going back to that one, Music Dan. Like, it's an interesting way to look at it, but yeah, I just don't think I could agree with that in the end. That one I would agree with. Copyright law in general, or let's say just intellectual property law, trademark, copyright, patent, any of that crap, it's pretty much all garbage and really poorly done, and have companies fighting for keeping rights to things way longer than they should, and patent trolls, and so many problems with those systems. Whereas stuff should definitely be opened up a lot more readily. I see his axles. Freaking circuits. Home run! Yeah! I'll never understand why they chose to use those sound clips in this game about music. Right, music. There's an AI tournament? Nice. Trademark, that's fair, hyphenated. Yeah, trademark is probably reasonable. It's got some wonkiness from what I know, but but I guess a lot of it makes sense. It's weird, like having to actively fight to protect your trademarks and stuff can come off as a little awkward and I don't really know the word I'm looking for. Like anti-consumer is the word that comes to mind, but that's absolutely the like wrong concept basically. But anti-human, I don't know, aspects like that. But yeah, I would say overall trademark's a lot more reasonable than copyright and patent by quite a ways. That is true. Yeah, there's Kingdom of Loathing. We're talking about that as well, alongside RuneScape and some of that other stuff. I think I'm about out of steam at this point, though, folks. We've already been streaming about 7.5 hours, and I'm on less than 5 hours of sleep. So, I think we will be calling it for now. I'll still stick around and chat if people have anything else they wanted to talk about or whatever, but I don't know, it's a fun stream that we just kind of chatted about games for most of it. We've kind of been doing that a lot lately, I guess, but I like that. I think that's we tend to have some really good, interesting conversations throughout that we can kind of discuss goods and bads of a lot of different games and designs, and end up with little side game recommendations and lots of cool little stuff like that. But